Hello, everybody.
Hey.
How are you?
Hey, Liam. Hey,
How are
Jen.
you? Like nothing like sneaking up on stage without warning you.
I'm like,
And I
hey,
only have an
I was
avatar
jamming. I'm like, yeah.
today, and it's been bad. Like a bad hair day is an understatement.
Girl,
I'll
I
go back and look for
understand. I
a good
understand.
hair
I
day
mean,
or
I'm
decent.
not gonna have my face on a lot. I mean, for long.
No.
You look so
I'm
good.
going back and forth, back and
I love
forth.
your face.
I lost my favorite chicken today. Well, not my favorite
Oh
chicken, my
no.
favorite rooster.
Oh
Favorite
no.
rooster. I got home and he's gone.
Oh
Poor
no.
roosters.
So I
Where
guess
did everybody's tags go? Sorry to interrupt. Your favorite rooster. That's sad. I just
yeah.
noticed. Sorry, nobody's names are on here. Sorry.
Thank you, Donna. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's my favorite
sorry. Oh,
rooster.
there they are.
Little depressing. Little
It
depressing,
is.
but it's not as bad as Charlie Kirk's wife. You know, it could be
Oh
a lot
boy.
worse. So, I'm definitely grateful.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
I was having a pity party yesterday. I was having a bad day, and I deleted my pity post because I realized I'm alive. I mean, it's really sad, you know?
yeah.
Really sad. Really, really
So
sad.
fast too, unexpected too.
Yeah, and it's like,
Although
welcome
he
in.
kind of expected it, I am going to get my face off. He did. He did expect it. He was expecting it. He was wearing, as far as I know, he was wearing a bulletproof vest. He was scared that he was going to get.
Really?
Yeah, he was scared that he was going to
Aw,
get offed.
thank you,
I didn't know
Holly.
that, Jen.
He was scared he was going to get offed, and
Oh my god.
thank you, Holly.
Thank you, Holly, honey. Um, no, I heard the same thing, and that the bullet ricocheted off the vest
I don't know. It looked like it
into
went
its
straight
neck.
in, but it could have. It could have. It could have.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't.
So
At
sad.
first, I saw three. The first video, the first raw video that I saw on TikTok, it looked like three, like went into him, or I just saw it was like ricocheting. But then the next video I saw was completely different, and it goes straight into the neck. So I don't know. It's
Like
I
the
feel
bullet
like
sprayed or something. They said they don't know
we're
what.
doing 9/11 all over again. I feel like we're doing 9/11 all over again. Like we're gonna have some type of it's the the same old rhetoric. They
Well,
Yeah.
go ahead, hon.
I don't trust the government. Okay, so my stance, and this is just my perception from my studies, from my research. I don't trust our government. I don't care if they're right, left, liberal, this, that. I don't care. They're all corrupt. And if they
Hmm.
haven't gotten corrupt, they're going to be. And you
Hmm.
can't switch. Look at how Tucker Carlson has switched. And he is calling things out the way he sees it. And
Hmm.
he just had Charlie Kirk on his show, the Mr. Semite or Semitism that they are pushing on Tucker Carlson. And I think that that's what began to happen. I don't know, because I didn't even know what Charlie Kirk was all about until yesterday. But
Hmm.
from what I've gathered, he loved to debate.
Hmm.
He liked being able to speak freely and other people be able to speak freely, but he made people think. He was a
Hmm.
very loving and caring person, minus his religious beliefs. He
Hmm.
was a very caring person. But there is so much corruption. If you can talk about the United States every day, all day long, don't you dare talk about Israel,
Hmm.
what's going on in
Yeah.
Gaza. Don't you dare do
Sorry.
that. Because once you do that, you're on the hit list. You're
Hmm.
on the hit list. We can go back to the different assassinations that has taken place, and we can then and we can look at major events, like 9/11. We can go back and we can look at these events and go, okay, they were calling us conspiracy theorists then,
Hmm. Yeah.
because
Oh,
we didn't
definitely.
believe the narrative that they were giving us.
No, I know. I know. I
And I
thought.
think the same thing. I think that the last video, I think I sent both you and Trisha that last video that he uploaded, and he was talking about Israel, and you just don't do that, especially to Ben Shapiro that knows all of the now. So, but they found the casings and it's about trans. They're going to spin it as a trans. That's what they're going to do. They're going to spin it. They want us to hate. They want to divide us. They want to conquer us.
Well, I've got some videos we're going to look at, and then we'll show, if we just introduce the general topic, Jen, and then we'll show the one that he posted, Kirk's last YouTube video, and we can get into that. But there's a video.
I did watch it.
Yeah. Even whether or not, I want this to first of all be an open debate. Everybody has their own opinion, and my perspective is it doesn't matter what your opinion is. We shouldn't be killing each other. We should be able to have conversations and debate. And so tonight, I want everybody, whether we agree or not, everybody to have the right to choose their own opinion, and everybody feel safe to say it. I'm not always good at stuff like that when I feel personally attacked, but to me, that's the lesson here. It doesn't matter what our beliefs are. We need to find a better ground and a better way to communicate. I didn't know anything about him either until last night. And it made me, but he stands for what I stand in. Like, how are we ever supposed to save anything in this world if we can't talk about it and debate about it and learn to sit in a room with people we may not agree with, but really try to hear them and understand their perspective for the first time, and maybe use some common grounds to start with. And it just seems to me that that's the only way we're going to get out of this chaos that the world's in. And that's what he stood for. And it's really sad. It's really sad that somebody gets executed for trying to bring debate forward. I don't know.
And we see it all the time here too. Leanne, we see it all the time here where, YouTube, if you're not with us, you're against us. And it's like, but look, we have a lot of other views that we might, align with, like you said, a common ground.
Yeah. Well, how are we going to, anything in extreme is dangerous. Anything in extreme, including religion, it doesn't matter what it is. That's just my opinion. Whenever you're an extremist, it's dangerous, And
I agree.
Anyway, we've all got our different, I think the three of us here have different opinions, and we're going to talk about those tonight, and they're different perspectives. And it doesn't mean we have to hate on each other.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Holly, I'm with you. I recognize patterns too, and that's why I'm always talking about degrees. And the night before that Charlie is shot, and I've got a witness, I've got my phone texts, and I have my witness as Shauna. And she'll tell you, we in the night before, and I pinpointed, and I'm going to show that in the morning on my live. I'm going to talk about nothing but the astrology and the numbers, because I'm going to break it down. I'm going to break it all down for whoever that wants to deep dive into it in another perspective, because Elon, Ghislaine, Trump, Israel were all in transit at the same time with the Department of Justice. And it was going to be an intense time, and she and I were going to observe it.
Well, I think the one thing everybody agrees on is it looks like it looks. We'll look at the charts. I think everybody agrees that looks professional and premeditated. I think there's no doubt there, right? I think that's everybody's position.
Well, I mean, especially since they did find, rhetoric on the weapon, whatever was written on the weapon and the bullets was meant for someone to see it. And then obviously we know many times, fragments and things like that would be found. Did they ever say what type of a device was used?
Sorry.
You know what I mean? I just don't want to say it, but I know.
I think
was used.
I think they did. Jen, did you hear? I know it's in a lot of the videos. I mean, I've been watching videos all day. I mean, and I got lineups videos looking. You can't get updated enough. It seems like that's all anybody's talking about on YouTube right now. It's crazy. But I think they did. Yeah.
I didn't hear. Okay.
I thought we would start with this video just because it is September 11th, and it's a sad day already, the anniversary of September 11th, 2001. And I'm Canadian and I still remember that day because to me, it was a sad day for humanity, not just the United States, although I know the terrorist attack occurred on, US soil. It was just sad. I remember watching it. So I thought this video, because yesterday as well, we'll start with this one and then we'll just get into Charlie Kirk. But yesterday there was also a shooting at a high school in Colorado where three kids were fatally shot at, and not fatally, I should say, are critically injured. And it didn't even make the headlines. And that's how I guess it's so discouraging that it's becoming sort of normalized. Like everything was about
Yeah.
Charlie, that it didn't even make the headlines for many stations. And I just think that when we become normalized to school shootings where it doesn't even make the headlines, I just think it's really sad. It was the local news, but it did not make headlines. So this kind of addresses, if we can, this clip introduces the fact that 911's memorial, the school shooting, and then they get into Charlie Kirk. So I thought it was a good one. If that's okay, we'll start with this one, and then we'll just bring up the video as you girls sent me, and we'll just start having a conversation. Welcome in, everybody. Hopefully more people come in. If you're new here, welcome in. Trisha from Lady Freedom, Raw Narratives, Jennifer's from Astrology from Mystics. And if you're from their channels, welcome in. And if you're not aware of their channels, please subscribe. We'll get some of the mods that are from each of your channels to start putting the links in temporarily, but I know you're both also streaming from your own channels, right? Or to your own channels, rather.
I think
Yes,
I'm
and this is
streaming.
the first time I've done it, so.
I think I'm streaming. I don't know if I'm live or not.
Okay.
I
feel like I'm living in the 60s again. I know. Yeah, I can see you're going raw narrative. Let me check. Trisha, you're going. Jen, yeah, you're on too.
Oh, great.
So we did it! Yay!
Like, oh my.
Well, I know it's way more fun if you can stream to your own channel. It's just like, right?
Yeah,
okay,
that's so cool. That's such a cool feature. I have to always, I need to learn how to do that in reverse, when I have someone up to do that.
Yeah, I'll show you. It's easy. Just when you click on the invited guest, there's a little button you slide over that says allow the guest to, through StreamYard, share to their own channels. So.
Oh, cool.
Okay,
thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, let's just watch one. I don't know how. I've never done 3 people on stage with a video. There we go. It worked. Or maybe I have, because we've all been up here before. Let's take that back. Take that back. I did. Let's just watch this, and then we're going to get into the video that you sent, Trisha, and then Jen, we can go right to Charlie Kirk's podcast, and we can start discussing theories. How's that?
Okay.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Police believe shot 2 classmates yesterday has been released, and the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office clarified that one of the victims' release is not back at home. In a news conference this morning, a doctor with St. Anthony said the victim was no longer in their care. We've now confirmed the victim was transferred to Children's Hospital for further care. Thanks for joining us at noon. Today, the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office clarified that health distinction in a news conference that just finished within the last 10 minutes. 9 News' Jennifer Meckles was on scene all day yesterday and is now back with us to share the latest details. Jenny, I know that you must be inundated with emotion. You have been on the scene. What have you learned today?
Well, Sam, we've learned a lot of information in the last 30 minutes, starting with the identity of the shooter. So let me share that with you first, as well as a photo that was shared from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office just in this last hour. The student was identified, a student, by the way, as 16-year-old Desmond Holly, a student here at Evergreen High School. The big question everyone wants to know is why? What is the motive? I want to be very clear that they don't know yet. The Sheriff's Department tells us they're still trying to gather information. The only thing they can say so far about trying to piece together a why behind all this is that this student, they believe, had been radicalized by an extremist network. What does that mean? It's a great question. At this point, that's as much as they feel they can pass along to us.
Okay, this kid, they don't even think he had a driver's license, and he opened like full on like bullets, like boom, 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 like crazy.
Wow.
Crazy. He killed himself, by the way, afterwards. But look how freaking old he is. It's just
16, huh?
It's just getting crazy. It's scary at the age with which our kids, this is my
But
take
see,
on this. The
this is
violence.
what we really need a deep dive in on, especially today on 9/11, because
Yes.
anybody that believes this bullshit narrative about what really happened that day, you're living in a dream world. That is my
100%.
opinion. I hope that I do not offend anybody by being that bold and saying that, but that's the only thing that I know to help humanity is to just be bold and say that I really truly think that this kid, and then he offs himself. So we
Yeah.
can't ask him any further questions if he was groomed or not.
I know.
Right.
We can't
Well,
we can't even ask him anymore.
no, I know. But this is the thing. I mean, how can you go into well, first of all, how he had access to it. I mean, there's so many conversations, access,
Exactly.
like
Exactly.
it's just, and the hate at a young age that you have to be filled with. Where does that come from? It's a societal problem. We can blame the parents, we can blame his genetics, but somewhere along the way, we all know right from wrong. And when we get that evil and you're
Does everybody know what
16,
a patsy is? Do you know?
no,
Does everybody know what a patsy is?
no.
That's what he is. That's what this gunman is going to be. They're going to be what we call a patsy, and
Mhm,
we, as in, they're going to call us conspiracy theorists, but we're always
mhm,
right. You know,
mhm,
we
mhm.
always seem to be right. They want to,
Well, this is the problem. I know.
this is the big
Yeah,
problem.
like we've got tinfoil hats on, but it comes true. Here,
Yeah, you
let's.
go against the establishment, you get things go wrong. Things go wrong.
Mhm.
So you go with the narrative, and they have all kinds of this government is the if anybody thinks that if a devil isn't a little red being with horns, it's men
Yes.
in suits and women,
Mhm.
because a lot of people will call Mossad Epstein. But what if it's Mrs. Maxwell or Miss Maxwell? I mean, what if it's her? What if that's Mossad? What, we don't know how this is all coming about, but we can always tie it back to a place that we established in 1948. And it's crazy because, if I wasn't an astrologer, I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even
Mhm.
know
Mhm.
how.
No.
Yeah. I mean, this kid, we can't even talk to him now to see if he was groomed.
No, I know. Let's listen to the story a little more. It's just sad. I mean, the one thing I
Sorry,
know for sure, no, for me, it's all about energy. I don't care if you're a judge, a politician, a cop, a doctor, a nurse. There's good people that follow and do the right thing in all of those professions, media, and there's dark. And this to me is a battle of dark and light. That's just my take on it
and
spiritually.
we have to have that in a dual world, don't we?
We do, but right now dark is taken over, and I think we got to step up and we have to really do better. That's just my take. But we're never
Well,
going to
and
get rid of.
what group is he affiliated with? Because they said he's radicalized by an extremist group, but they never said was
They're
it.
feeding you a narrative, Lady Freedom. They're feeding you what to think. This is a spiritual type of warfare, but it's in the mental. It's with your brain. It's with the power of your mind, with the communications, and so that's what they're doing. They're feeding you what to think. So in the beginning, it
Well,
says
he's
that he's
just so
radicalized.
young.
Yeah, yeah. I
I'm
mean,
just
maybe he
wondering what he was
was.
into. Like what was his deal that he was into? You know what I mean? Like, was it Islam radicalism because it's so close to? You know what I mean? I'm just wondering where his mindset was.
Right.
Obviously, not in a good one.
No, no. Nice to see you, Rogue. I'm just answering your comment. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, it's just crazy. It's crazy. It's just I don't know I don't know what the solution is, and it's definitely not an easy one nor a fast one, and it's definitely not for us. I mean, we're just part of the narrative, but I think the officials, the people in the positions to change things, need to sit in the freaking room and do what Charlie was doing and stop hating on each other and breeding hate into politics. And let's find commonality for the love of the freaking God for humanity. It's just
Right. Exactly,
just
Kelly.
crazy.
Exactly, Kelly. Yes. The war against powers and principalities. Yes. That's
Yeah.
what it feels like. Like we are so, and we can't, I don't trust our government. I don't believe a damn word that they say. If their
Mhm.
lips are moving, I don't care what party they are.
Mhm.
Jen, I agree though. There's corruption within all of the groups, right?
Listen, you can't make it into politics without the dark energy in your body, in my opinion. Like
Right.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't stand it because it's so evil to like who do you have to become to be able to even stand in politics? Like you got to be pretty dark. In my opinion, you got to have some shade. Like you
Right.
have to use, you can't
Sure.
tango with people that you're completely out of alignment with. I think I can't. You know,
Right.
it absolutely is a spiritual fight. I mean, it's about
I agree.
people that start finding darkness and turning it into hate. And you know, it like the only way forward is peace. It's peace and conversations and finding some common ground and learning to love one another despite our
This is a
differences.
spiritual fight, though. It's always been, it always will
Yeah.
be. I truly believe that,
Yeah, me
because
too.
if we do not, if we have peace, then we can't be conquered.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I know. Well, this is the point. This is why love, I don't care what your
We're
beliefs.
not free. There's no free speech. We have to think and feel and do and act a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
or we are different. And what are they doing with the jabs? Constantly the jabs are given, they are transforming our hormones and doing all kinds of things to our body. But trust the science. Trust the science, okay? Trust the science that you need them, and they need to fill your pockets. You need this prescription.
It's so indoctrinated. Like
You have to have this prescription.
I don't even want to get into the Ovid word here because I don't want to get banned. But my daughter's a nurse. And let me tell you, it's indoctrination right at the school level. Like
True.
I love my daughter, but the brainwashing in the medical industry is astounding. Thank you, Holly. It's just astounding. You know?
Yeah.
It's just, right, and I love her, but you know, there's the healthcare industry can do no freaking wrong. She is so brainwashed. Yeah. You know, it's crazy. It starts young when you're in school. I really think it does. So I don't know. Go ahead. Somebody say something.
It's different nowadays too than it was, and you know, different when we were kids, different when our parents were kids, all that.
Yeah. I thought they're trying to say this kid killed her. No, sorry, TJ.
TJ.
We're just looking in first at. We just started the live. I wanted to introduce, because I was saying if you're coming in late, that there was a school shooting in Colorado yesterday. This young man, 16 years old. There's 3 kids in critical condition. No updates, and I saw the video, and he had I don't even know, an assault rifle, an automatic that was just boom, 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 and he killed himself later. And so we're just sort of introducing the fact that yesterday it never even was discussed except for locally because of Charlie, which I understand, but at the same time, when there's a school shooting and it doesn't even make it to mainstream media, that is so disheartening for me, that it's become too normalized that we didn't even talk about it. So so we're starting with this and we're getting into Charlie. So let's finish this up and then we'll get into the video that Trisha wants to show. and then the one that Jen you sent me, and then we'll have our debate and keep going, looking at charts and whatever. We'll just go from there, see how we end up.
But that's incredibly front and center in this investigation moving forward. They told us that they have so far searched the home where the student lived. They know he took a bus to school yesterday, not his car, so there was no car to search, but they're searching his phone, his locker, his home. They tell us that his family has been cooperative. We've asked more questions about what that looks like and how the law enforcement has characterized parents' involvement or non-involvement. At this point, they said family's been cooperative. We are working with them. We've been in touch with them. They tell us that this student came to the school yesterday with a lot of ammunition. He loaded and reloaded, and that there were an unknown, so many that they don't know, number of shots around this school. And that's something that they're still kind of going through, finding what happened throughout the school. They are able to track his movements through the school from security cameras that are inside of this high school, something that will be very helpful in telling the narrative and the timeline of this story as we move forward. We asked the sheriff's department if they believe he intended to come here with a certain amount of casualties. And they said, we don't know exactly, but again, the amount of ammunition he brought, the amount of shots that were fired were a lot. We know 2 students were injured. Those are the 2 that Sam mentioned at the very start of this newscast. 2 students that were injured still in the hospital tonight. I want to share with you a few comments quickly from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office and the update they just gave us when talking about the shooter.
We know that the suspect had a handgun. He had to keep reloading. He would fire and reload, fire and reload, fire and reload. This went on and on. And as he did that, he tried to find new targets. And he came up against a roadblock on many of those doors. He couldn't get to those kids.
Kelly from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department, and she was speaking about the processes and systems in place for the students who understood what to do in a lockdown and the teachers who helped protect them. We know a lot of kids that were here at the school took off from the scene yesterday. They started running in every direction they could find safety, but the kids who were still inside the school, Jackie was incredibly complimentary, as was this department, about how they did what they'd been trained to do, and it saved lives yesterday, because she says that the suspect appeared to be on a mission to try to get into various classrooms. We know the suspect is dead. That was reported as of last night. The Sheriff's Department tells us that the autopsy was done on him this morning. We do not have any information to share beyond that at this point. And also, there's a couple of things still happening here at the high school today that are relevant. I want to show you behind me what's going on. So there's a lot of cars still in the parking lot from kids and staff that were parked here yesterday that they cannot just come and show up and get their car. There's a system in place for this now today too. They are meeting the families that have cars in this parking lot. So if this is you, this is what you need to do. You need to go back over to Bergen Meadow. That was the place for reunification yesterday. You need to bring a set of keys, one set of keys. If your keys are here on site, you can't get it. But if you got a spare set of keys, and they're going to bus people from that site over here and then escort people to their cars. We've already seen that start today. We've seen young people coming to get the vehicles that were left here yesterday, and that process is going to continue throughout the day. Last thing I want to say, Sam, I know I'm throwing a lot of information at you here. There's a lot of questions about an SRO presence in this yesterday. So here's what we've been able to clarify. Yes, Jefferson County, of course, works with their law enforcement in the school district. The SROs in this district are deputies within the sheriff's department. This school, we were told today, has an SRO signed to them full time, but that particular SRO had been on leave. I believe they said it was a medical leave, but it was some kind of an approved leave. And in the meantime, while that person was on leave, they were filling it with helpers from other schools. So there was someone here this morning. They had left, as they are allowed to do. They just weren't here on site at the time. So a really unfortunate timing, certainly. Not that may have made a difference, but that was to answer some questions that existed about the SRO situation here at Evergreen High School.
And Jenny, every student, every parent's worst nightmare. I know that we have a lot of unanswered questions, and hopefully in the days to come, we will find additional answers. Quickly, do you know if there was any sort of information about a weapon and how that student obtained the weapon?
It's a great question. It's a question we've been asking. Not at this time. We asked them, do you know, because this young man is too young to buy a weapon for himself, do you know how he came to have that weapon, who it belongs to? And we were told that is part of the investigation at this time. No news to report on that so far, but certainly a question at the top of a lot of people's minds, Sam.
All right, Jennifer Meckles, appreciate you. Thank you. And our coverage will continue later.
I just want to stop here because of the comments in the thread. We don't have the right to bear arms in Canada, and the lefty liberal part of our government is the government that changed the laws that refused to charge my dad because of the laws that were changed. Okay, this woke, in Canada ideology is what's killing our country. He didn't even have, our prime minister, the lefty woke, didn't even have the frickin' cojones to make a public statement. You know who did was our conservative Pierre Poilievre, who wasn't elected, and made a public statement that there's no presence in politics for violence. But in Canada, we've become so woke. There was a guy last week, y'all, some of you guys are Canadian in the chat. Now picture this. A man breaks in with a bow and arrow into his home at 3:30 in the morning. He wakes up and there is a man pointing a bow at him, ready to shoot. They didn't say how he defended himself, but the man with the bow is alive. The police in Canada arrested him for too aggressive defense.
Wow.
In his own house.
Yeah, that's the
Oh my
fucking
God.
woke in Canada, okay? We can look at that.
Damn.
Yeah. I signed a petition. That's how fucking wokeism, excuse me for my language, because we're going to swear tonight. If anybody's offended, I'm sorry, because I'm going to swear. Sorry, Trisha and Jen. But yeah, if
No,
you
I
want me to
swear
play
too.
it, I'll play it. I swear to God. I signed a petition. They put him in jail. It's disgusting. This is what Canada has become under the influence of the leftists. I'm sorry. I'm not political, but this
Unbelievable.
extreme ideology is it's insanity. It's absolute insanity. It's nuts. I mean, I'll show that after this if you want. It's crazy. It's absolutely
Yeah,
crazy.
I didn't know that.
Hurt people hurt people. Hurt people hurt people, and they're going to hurt you
Yes.
with whatever
Yeah.
that they can find. So, and we can't just law everything to death. What we've got to do is we've got to be responsible, and that's all we can do. Other than that, we can't fix mental control destiny. No way. But at the same time, it's like
Right.
I grew up around we were a bunch of kids, okay, at my grandmother's. There was a rifle behind every door. Every door. We didn't go in. I mean, we had, but we weren't on the phone 24/7 either. We weren't gaming. We weren't doing all that. We are so mental, and there is so much that we could talk about. It's not even funny, but
we could go on for weeks just on this conversation alone.
Everywhere I go, I carry. You know what? That man would not have walked off that train, and that woman from Ukraine, I would have been there with her. I would have done both. I would have taken him, and I would have held her hand.
Well, that's we don't even have the right to bear arms. I don't even know what this guy did to defend himself. He didn't kill him. They didn't state it, but he's in fucking jail. I signed the petition. It's disgusting. It's absolutely fucking disgusting. This is the country I'm in. So you guys all know I got a creep stalker. If he was to break in my apartment and I defended myself and he's the size of Huberman, okay, Rex? What the fuck, people? What the fuck? That's this country. So I'm so against the radicalism. I have anything radical is dangerous. Anything radical is dangerous.
Any of it, yeah.
Well, they want to take everything away from us, including our dignity, our gender, and our health. They want to take it all away and then say that if look, your kids can't even go.
Yeah.
They can't even go to school without getting a gazillion stuff put in them. And then we're supposed to be like, oh, now they've got this. Now they've got that. Now they're identifying as a cat. So, it can't be
Lord.
what you put in my kids. Oh, no.
Oh,
it can't
my
be
God.
what you're feeding my kids. It can't be none of that.
I heard about this whole...
it's got to be. It's their choice. It's their choice. They're just choosing, and they're just being bad, and they're just sinners. I don't think so.
I don't even want to get into the cat conversation. I had no idea what was going on. Y'all in Canada, it's become a big thing too. I had no idea where kids are allowed to dress up and go to the bathroom in kitty litter boxes because they think they're fucking cats. And our school system is allowing it. I thought it was a joke until the next day or two, literally after saying it, it's like God provided me with an opportunity. And I saw 2 kids at the fucking park dressed up acting like cats. I was like,
I've done videos about this stuff. I've done videos about it. Yeah, it's called epigenetics. As long as you're not having a kid, as long as you're and as long as you're sick. I mean, we got to keep you sick because that's the only way our pockets fill up with big pharma. That's a doctor's not gonna, they're gonna get money when that prescription is written and filled.
Yeah.
But we want to blame, everybody blames the kids like they're sinning or like, but they're not looking at the causation of it.
Yeah.
What is causing this?
Yeah.
Oh, but you're a conspiracy theory. It doesn't change their DNA. No, it changes their hormone. Do you know what hormones do? I mean, how we cannot continue to trust the science, to trust the government, to trust and stand with Israel. Israel was created in 1948, guys.
No,
Okay.
Donna.
There's been thousands and thousands and thousands of Christians, and now we have dwindled down to 1,000 and like maybe 1,000 or something.
Right.
Y'all, there is so much that they feed us on the tube, and it all it does, and eventually when we have nothing, when we can't power on something, that's when we're really going to get an awakening.
No, I know. Well,
we come back to Jesus.
Well, I'm not so sure that this awakening isn't coming, because I think the energy is shifting right now. But I also just want to say in the chat, this is like a pivotal energy shift, I feel. But anybody in the chat, please be respectful to each other. I want everybody to express how they feel without being attacked in the chat. If you don't agree, just don't attack, just refrain, please. I want everybody to be free to express how they feel in honor of Charlie Kirk. Okay, this is the whole point. Okay, it's the whole point. There's no hate. You don't agree, just let it be. Okay. Let's finish this.
The worst thing too is that this boy lost his life, 31 years old, 2 babies, a beautiful wife at home without him, just because he was making a speech, right?
Well, this is it. Well, this is the saddest part. I didn't even know who he was. I was having a little stoppy day, and then I realized, well, everybody's talking about this. I'm going to go figure out who this guy is. Took my post down because I felt like a victim. At least I'm alive. And it made me realize, okay, this is what this guy stands for, which is what we need, is conversation and healthy debate. That's the only way we're going to understand each other's perspective and learn something from one another. And I don't understand whether you like what he said or not. He was at a university campus hosting a debate. Man, I was on the debating club, and there used to be awards for having debates. Lawyers debate in court all day long. Judges debate when they're deciding what laws to pass and what not to pass. Since when is debate unhealthy? That's the forward momentum we need. I don't understand. I don't understand it. It's disgusting.
It's there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. To speak back and forth, and people love to listen to that more than they would like to listen to people always agreeing too, as long as it stays respectful and smart, I disagree because rather than, well, you're stupid, that'll shut down a debate right away, right? How do you debate that? I mean, you can't. It shuts everything down.
Apparently his children were there watching as well. I don't know if anybody's heard differently, but I heard his wife and kids were there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, how are they going to get over that? Thank God the boy's 1 and the little girl's 3, because
they're little, right? They're so little. Like, that's so sad.
I was supposed to watch my grandson this morning, because we all get, we've got all these deep grooves in our teeth, very unrelated, but he's 4 and he was traumatized because he had to get work done because we get these deep grooves. It doesn't matter. Our dentist said, how much you fucking brush your teeth, you're going to get cavities in the back. And he's 4. He was so traumatized from the dentist yesterday. I was supposed to watch him this morning. My alarm didn't go off. He's 4. How do you think these kids are how badly are they going to be traumatized for life? It's so tragic. It's so tragic. I don't know. I have no words. I can't even comprehend. It's sad. It's really sad. Okay, let's watch the last of this, and then I'm going to pull up the video that you sent me, Trisha, and then we'll watch Jen's, and we're going to have a lot of conversations, I'm sure. Everybody get your stiff drinks. Stiff drinks.
They're both good. I watched one.
We're about to get in the trenches, y'all. We're just beginning. Okay.
I feel a disclaimer coming on.
Well, it's just I want everybody to be able to talk and express themselves, whether we agree or not, freely. And I'm just saying, for people know when I get a little bit, overly emotional, to grab your stiff drink, because Leanne can tout. Leanne can pull a Betty Bohorn, which I love her. I'm not like her, obviously she's a unique person, but when I get in my rant, I can be very vocal.
Yeah.
Oh, same.
That's fine.
Same.
Yeah.
I love that about stuff. We all can. Yeah, we all can. I mean, it's okay. It's okay to go off.
Yeah, and someday we're all going to watch a popcorn, have our colossal popcorn with KP and Shackles, but that's another day. Let's go. Let's go.
My dream come
I know.
Well, there is still no arrest in the search for the gunman who shot and killed conservative activist Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University yesterday. But just over an hour ago, the FBI released these pictures of a person of interest after they recovered the high-powered bolt-action rifle used in the shooting, along with a palm print and a forearm imprint.
After the shooting, we were able to track his movements as he moved to the other side of the building, jumped off of the building, and fled off of the campus and into a neighborhood. Our investigators have worked through those neighborhoods, contacting anybody they can with doorbell cameras, witnesses.
This is the third person potentially connected to the crime, but the first two persons of interest were determined to be innocent. 24 years ago today, nearly 3,000 people started their day at work and on planes, and, well, they never made it home. 19 terrorists had hijacked 4 passenger planes and crashed them into New York City's Twin Towers, the Pentagon, and in a field in Pennsylvania. So each year on September 11th, we as a country mark the tragedy in many ways. One of the ways here in the Denver Metro is the Memorial Stair Climb at Red Rocks Amphitheater. It is the 17th year that firefighters dressed in full gear head up the stairs, as so many firefighters did in 2001 to save as many victims as possible. The event happens when the second plane involved in the attacks crashed into the World Trade Center. In New York City, that bell was rung at the moment the first plane hit the first tower. And that silence was actually very loud as victims' families joined with first responders and city leaders to mark 24 years since that day. President Trump spoke at a ceremony at the Pentagon.
The laughter of school children fell silent. The rush of our traffic came to an absolute halt. And for 2,977 innocent souls and their families, the entire world came crashing down so suddenly.
An event was also held to honor the people who fought terrorists on the plane that crashed into a Shanksville, Pennsylvania field, along with the other passengers who were killed.
Okay, let's get on to something else, another video. Thank you for doing the YouTube-y things, everybody.
I think we all remember where we were when 9/11 happened. I know I do. I remember because I was on my way to work and I thought my mother-in-law was watching a movie. And I said, "Are you watching a movie?" She said, "No, this is the news." And I said, "Oh my God." It was scary.
Yeah, I
Horrible.
remember I remember working, I was in real estate and I was working from home, and so I watched the whole thing and it was just like, whoa. It's just wild. Yeah, everybody remembers where they were, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, let's get on with it. We're gonna show your link that you sent, Trisha, because it sort of gives us a
Yeah, I remember, Molly. I do remember.
It was crazy, huh, Jen?
Yep.
I know.
I about it as a saved event.
But you know what's kind of sad? I mean, yes, it's a unique event, but I mean, look at how much more violent the world's become since then. Like, it's wild.
Well,
You know?
people still, even after 9/11, people still believed the narrative. They believed the narrative when it came to the Rona. They believe people are just stuck on stupid.
They are. And then, to think that, next thing, I think it was the Pentagon, and then, they were saying then, Philadelphia. But yeah, I mean, it's just, Pennsylvania, I think they said. It's just crazy because it was just one thing after another. I know they shut down the Louis Joliet Mall because that's where I was working.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, it's sad. It's really, really sad.
My kids were little. I was a stay-at-home mom at the time. My mom left work and came there, and we laid on the couch and cried all day. Just cried all day. And then when our market crashed, I want to say it was 2007, 2008, something like that. I've got that saved as an event too. But when it did crash, I think it was 2008. It's right when Pluto came into, we were having a Pluto return. And our market crashed, and the birds were, they were dying out of the air. And there was a lot of things going on. And I was, I went to her work and I said, we need to really have this discussion. And it was almost like I told Mama that Santa Claus wasn't real when I told her that what I've discovered is that 9/11 was an inside job. And all the things that I told her, she was just having a really hard time with. But then she realized that that's exactly what happened. And we're in a whole nother mindset now. After that day changed us forever. To see the look on George Bush's face when he was reading to children, how sweet, what a great president he looks like. It was just,
Yeah. Yeah, to Seclusion, who said that this is too hard for their blood pressure. Yes, if you're finding this topic too hard, please take care of yourself. I said that earlier on in the chat. I think we have to, this is for me very energetic. Like, it's really about choosing who you choose to be and what you want to believe, no matter what you align with and how you want to behave and show up in the world. And that is dark versus light, evil versus lighter, better, behavior with integrity. And if it's too much and you're having a hard time, I think these days are dark, and I think we need to be extra careful to protect ourselves and keep our boundaries, because even in true crime, man, it can be negative. And so I think we all just need to, if it's too much, bow out. But
yeah,
just remember that these are dark times, and even in true crime, we got to protect our energy. And that's why some days, like yesterday, I just I got to take a day and understand that my body's saying this is enough,
yeah,
because
exactly.
it's gonna
Well
be.
said.
I think this is a darker time we're heading into. I really do, but I think it's a time where people are. I just feel. I felt last night, before even knowing him, that there's something about, and I don't want to say fated, Jen, because I know you'll pull up his chart, but I think he was fated to be somebody that people would legacy on, and hopefully carry on. Just the idea that we can have debate from different perspectives, and hopefully meet and learn to respect each other's feelings, views, and ideologies without hate rhetoric. um, I don't know enough about him, so I don't know if I'm sure there was things he said that pissed people off, but I just like to see a world where people could have a difference of opinion, and we try to understand instead of hating on each other. And
Yeah,
that to me is the only way
Right.
forward. And
And if you
anyways,
don't
yeah.
like what somebody says, you just kind of like let it roll off, right? You don't have to get so mad or, hateful. If you don't, and especially if you don't like someone, why would you go to their rally in the first place? That's what drives me nuts. But other than that, even when it comes to what we watch on YouTube or, any of the news stations, there's times where it's pretty high. Um, it's high intense stuff that we're watching, we're talking about, and it does it's got a way of just kind of getting under your skin for whatever reason. But there's a time when you really do have to unplug and turn it off. Especially don't seek out content that is going to get under your skin, in my opinion.
Oh, I believe it, Anne. I mean, Donna, can I share what you told me today? If not, I won't. But about your daughter, it's just becoming where you can't even go to a movie. You can't go to a shopping mall. You can't go. I mean, Canada's a little different, but it's not far behind. I mean, we are behind in the stats. I mean, but we're not. So Donna was telling me today, thank you, Donna, called to see how I was doing. Okay, Seth, I didn't see your message. And Seth, if you want to jump on and you want to talk, we're talking Charlie Kirk, feel free. You're welcome to. But Donna was saying that her teenage granddaughter is afraid to go away to university now. She doesn't feel safe.
Mhm.
And that's sad. That is so sad that she's just doesn't even want, she just feels like, Donna said, she says, I don't even know what to do. Like, what am I supposed to do with myself? Like, it's
Yeah.
just, it's sad. Like, you
Well,
can't
I
even
I
go to,
heard someone else in a chat say the same thing, about it was a smaller grade, little one, but it was, I believe when the school shooting happened at the Catholic school, and the one of the ladies was like, my granddaughter's starting school, and I'm really worried. And I mean, it's scary. It is scary, no matter what age they are.
exactly. And Seth, you're right. That's my whole point on this is I don't care how much we disagree. We got to learn to come together and talk, man. This is just the fact that he was debating and trying to engage young adults, the future of the world, into learning to have critical thinking and understand each other's perspectives, to be better humans, and was shot for it just because people didn't believe in everything he believed in is just astoundingly just so discouraging. I'm
Yeah,
going to put a link.
fear. We definitely are. Yeah, we definitely can't live in fear.
Yeah, I'm putting a link in. If anybody wants to join in and talk, I want this to be a place where we can honor Charlie Kirk by having debates that we don't, even in the chat, we don't have to agree, but we got to learn and just to disagree respectfully. So today's all about respecting everybody's opinion. I don't care what you say in the chat. Just don't go at anybody, please. Just everybody be respectful. I want everybody to be able to express how they feel in honor of Charlie Kirk, because we have to. That's the only way forward. Okay, let's watch this, and then we'll pull up the video of his last podcast, Jen.
Grant, who were all in the audience yesterday afternoon. Thank you for joining us this morning. I know it's been a difficult day for all of you right now. And Tiffany, let me begin with you. Just tell us what you remember about the scene yesterday.
It was horrific. There was one shot that rang out, and everybody instantly looked around and then fell to the ground. People saw Charlie instantly get shot in the neck, and everybody fell to the ground, and then people started running and got run over. And I was with my family. We had 16 of us there, so 5 adults and like 11 children. And we instantly got separated. We're trying to find everybody, and we had amazing good Samaritans that grabbed kids. One took my niece and took her to her apartment. Somebody grabbed these 2 and my daughter and took them over to the tennis courts and stayed with them until I came. It was a super awful tragedy, and there were really good people that stood up and supported each other, and it was actually really powerful to see that.
Elle and me, I can't imagine how scared you must have been yesterday. What can you tell us about what you all remember? Elle, you go first.
So I remember hearing this thing. It was hard to know what it was, but then I saw it, and I saw blood everywhere, and it hit his artery, and then I fell to the ground. I covered my head with my hands, and then I just started saying a prayer, and then we all sprinted away, and we ran away and then we met at the tennis courts, and then we couldn't find anyone. It was just me, Mia, and then my other cousin Bella, and then we were calling everyone. We didn't know what to do, and then we finally met up with them, and it was just so scary.
I'm sure. Mia?
I remember that we were 15 feet away, and I thought the shot was a firecracker or something. It just didn't seem real. After that, we went behind where Charlie Kirk was, and then we were meeting up at the tennis courts and trying to find everyone and get everyone together. And Charlie Kirk was such a good guy. I'm gonna miss him so much. I've always watched all of his videos, and
I can't imagine what you all
America's gonna miss Charlie Kirk.
Can't imagine what you went through yesterday. Thanks for sharing your stories this morning.
Yeah, it is. It's very sad.
We're joined now by...
I mean, how are those kids going to ever get past that?
Wow. So sad.
It is sad.
So sad.
His
It's very
family,
sad.
kids, it's just, and nobody should have to be a witness to war. And that is something that America really hasn't seen. And that's what my main concern is that there are people around the world leaders that just may not, I don't know. I'm going to just stop there. I see that you've got
that.
Yeah.
It's sad. Well, I've been monetized since last year. I was monetized in 6 weeks. I've never had a YouTube video play videos when I'm live, Krista. So I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. Maybe are you on the new channel? Because the new channel's not monetized, but they don't normally play ads. That's the whole point of being on a live, is that you avoid the ads. I don't know. Anyways, let's watch this, Jen. You wanted to watch this because you think this is your theory.
I think because people were saying that he was starting to a lot of people that care about him or that watched him said that he was starting, and I've also got a link that I can show too, because
Okay.
there was TRT Global put out 5 times Charlie Kirk made anti-Semitic remarks. Kirk was a vocal supporter of Israel, but he often faced criticism for making anti-Semitic proclamations.
Okay.
And it's
I did see some of that too, Jen, when I did just a quick research just whenever,
yeah.
Because whenever Leanne had invited me up and, I was like, let me do a quick research because I was live whenever this all happened and we were saying prayers that he'd be okay. And then whenever he arrived, they pronounced him, or however that went down. And then I did breaking news, he did in fact not make it through this. But then I never really listened to his podcasts and stuff before all of this either. So
same. Yeah, I hadn't either.
Me neither.
Yeah.
I haven't even listened to this one because, Spirit Mystic, we're going to watch some of those too. There's some videos of people celebrating. It's absolutely disgusting. I just,
and disclaimer, I do listen to Ben Shapiro, or I have many times, just to put it out there, because that's who I asked. I said, well, I asked Nate, is he like Ben Shapiro, sort of, that he does speaking and he's political? And he said, yeah, sort of, And Ben's Jewish, obviously.
Yeah.
So
No, and it is, and that's the thing. Like, this is what I was trying to say earlier. It doesn't matter if you're Jewish. This is not an anti-Jewish statement. To me, it's deep state. Whether it stems from Israel deep state politics or whether it's deep state Canadian or US, it's the negative, the dark side. To me, whether it's politics, it doesn't mean all Jewish people are, it's when we lump everybody together and we just, this whole hate rhetoric against entire groups, that becomes dangerous, So that's all, just, it doesn't mean, that everybody in Israel is horrible if that Jen has the belief that this is based on his last podcast, right? That's my thoughts. But let's listen. Jen, what do you think before we go? Anything you want to add before we jump in?
Yeah, I think you can't cross Israel. And Charlie Kirk could have been the next president. He is a threat. He is a threat, especially if he talks or says anything having to do negatively that puts a negative light on Israel. And that's where a lot of people were saying that he was starting to see that the donors, if he speaks against the donors are going to take him out. But he has faith. He has faith in God that if he were to, flip the script, because he was on Tucker Carlson's show not even like a month ago. So I think that there's a narrative that he is starting to flip, and they see it and they don't like it. He's a major threat. A lot of people evidently loves Charlie Kirk.
Well, Don Jr. was on Fox today, or no, on Megyn Kelly show today, saying he thought he was extremely bright for the political future, for sure. Exactly that.
He's a threat.
Yeah, it's scary. Okay, let's listen in. This is Charlie Kirk's last podcast. Oh, listen up. This is sad.
Save for your future. With Monorail's Patriot portfolio, your investment dollars get out of globalist corporations and into
now
companies
that's
that
a commercial,
American values. Monorail is for anyone who wants to learn how to invest their money like a pro.
And we're going to let it play.
Investor that wants to put their money where their values are. Open an account today at monorail.com/Kirk.
Because his family needs every bit of money they can get. In fact, we should all be
Team Civilization here. We want to see the maniacs of Hamas be defeated. So we've seen news this morning that, quite honestly, I'm a little confused by, and I was hoping you could navigate it and help us understand, which is that Israel bombed Qatar, which houses a lot of Hamas officials. What happened here? And if I were to introduce just a skeptical question, will this potentially endanger America's own interests in the Middle East? So please, Ben, help me better understand the situation.
Sure. So I think that the lead up to understand here is that Qatar sort of plays both sides when it comes to its negotiating stance between Hamas and Israel and the United States. So it has provided extraordinary material support to Hamas directly, billions of dollars in material support to Hamas. The leadership of Hamas have been living in Qatar for years at 5-star hotels. Hamas's priorities have been pressed by Qatar in negotiations multiple times. Qatar has not put significant pressure on Hamas in the past to release the hostages or to end the war. And so basically, as Israel nears the end of the war, which is what this last movement in Gaza City is supposed to be, there was a final offer that was put on the table actually by the Trump administration that essentially said that Hamas should release the remaining 48 hostages, meaning 28 dead bodies and 20 alive hostages. And the United States would then guarantee, through its own honest brokerage, some sort of end to the war that would result in the disarming of Hamas and the movement of the Gaza Strip to presumably some sort of coalitional government supported by regional states and the rebuilding of the area. And Qatar was pushing Hamas, apparently, we heard. And Hamas this morning in Arabic actually rejected it. That's not been widely reported by the media, but it's true. Hamas actually rejected the American offer. The president had put out via Truth Social a statement saying, this is your last chance. And if you don't do that, bad things are going to happen. The idea that Israel would be able to fly 10 F-16s all the way across the Middle East to Qatar to strike a very specific terror target in Doha without American knowledge beggars the imagination. It is extraordinarily unlikely, to say the very least. Honestly, it would not be wildly improbable if Qatar knew that that was coming as well. And so Israel struck at the top level of the remaining Hamas in Qatar in an attempt to basically change the negotiating status. So the basic idea here is if you will not negotiate, if you refuse to get to the end of this war, well, then maybe we'll find somebody who can. Or maybe the idea is that you're safe nowhere until this war ends. Additional pressure had to be brought to bear, and that's why Israel did what it did. Obviously, I as well am on Team Civilization. I'm very happy to see Hamas's top leaders killed. I hope that as many of them in the leadership, with as little loss of civilian life as possible, I hope that as many of them died in this attack as humanly possible. And again, I'd be very surprised. I mean, we do know actually from contemporaneous reporting that the United States was at least given the heads up on the Israeli operation in the moments before it went.
I just spent time in Japan, and one of the things that kind of looms over Japan is that Japan, they engaged in an unconditional surrender, that they said, we're done. And they laid down their arms, obviously, after the 2 atomic bombs. Very controversial. People have mixed opinions on it. I certainly do. But that it is unconditional surrender. Is that what Israel is aiming for here? I suppose that is a question that I get a lot on campus. What does success look like? Because I think we could all agree a long war is not good for Israel, a long, drawn-out war. And we're coming towards 2 years in about a month. So it's been about 23 months. So what does ultimate success look like in the Gaza Strip?
Now, my main critique of the Netanyahu administration and Israel and Netanyahu government is they didn't move faster. I think this should have been a much more accelerated process. Israel set out at the beginning of this war with 2 goals, as articulated by the Israeli government. Goal number 1 was to get as many hostages out as humanly possible, to free the hostages. And second was to win the war. In many ways, those are mutually exclusive goals, because if you actually wish to win the war, then you have to do things militarily that are going to involve actual movement on the ground. And meanwhile, Hamas is attempting to basically use the hostages as its own form of human shield. They've used their own civilians as human shields. They're also using the hostages as a form of human shield. And so as you came to the end of the war, this was always going to be the question, is how the war kind of came to its final terminus. The priorities that Netanyahu has laid out publicly include essentially, basically, it's let the hostages out and there can't be a future military threat to Israel. Those are, if you had to sum it all up, those are the 2 things. How that materializes, in my opinion, is likely to be an Israeli military occupation of large swaths of the Gaza Strip, the setting up of humanitarian areas, particularly on the coast and in Rafah, in which humanitarian aid is provided, a pathway out for people who actually want to leave. This is the only conflict of which I'm aware on planet Earth in which there are outside countries telling people who would like to leave that they literally cannot. The Trump administration has been trying to facilitate the ability of people who want to leave to do so, and has also been trying to facilitate the entry of not only humanitarian aid, but investment into the areas that have been cleared of terrorists. And then you can see some sort of Hamas-free rebuilding. That would be the goal.
Well, I also sped it up a bit, Donna, because I didn't want to infringe on any copyright. So it's 1.25 speed. So I can slow it down if you want.
Of the end of the war. Now, my understanding is that the sort of last untouched area of the Gaza Strip, in terms of Israeli serious military operations, is Gaza City. It's why there's been so much focus on Gaza City. Last I heard, Israel already controls something 40 to 50% of the territory in Gaza City. They've been warning people to get out for at least a couple of weeks now. Hamas has been stopping people at checkpoints and turning them back and shooting them if they don't stay in the city to be used as human shields by Hamas. So that's the current situation on the ground.
What other feedback or criticism would you have about this situation? I know that it's impossible for anyone to listen to everything that you ever say, but looking at this from an American perspective, what else would you say things could have been handled differently? Maybe on the PR front, maybe also just on a conduct front. Where would you say, as an outsider, things that could have been handled better, more efficiently, or with more precision?
So number one, there's no such thing as a perfect war. So obviously in any war, there are going to be things that happen that are ugly and that are terrible. And that is why war is a terrible thing. As far as a sort of operational front, again, I've spent an awful lot of time in Israel. I've watched tape of operations happening, drone operations. I've met with an enormous number of Israeli soldiers, young men and women, people who are 18, 19, 20 years old, who have had legitimately their limbs blown off going house to house in an area where they didn't have to. The charge that Israel has been indiscriminate in its use of force in the Gaza Strip is an absurdity on its face. Israel has complete air superiority over the Gaza Strip. If it wanted to level the place and turn it into a parking lot October 8th, it certainly had the military capacity to do so. It has not done that. Instead, it has sacrificed legitimately 1,000 of its own young men, particularly in these areas, and thousands more who are wounded for the rest of their lives, going house to house in an attempt to prevent all of that, and is currently shipping in 4,400 calories per day per person into the Gaza Strip, much of which is then stolen by Hamas. So that is not to say that any war is perfect. This war has been conducted in about as meticulous way as any urban war in history. Just because war is ugly doesn't mean that it's being fought wrongly. And I think that the main mistake that Israel has made is misunderstanding how public relations works, in the sense that they couldn't have presented this war in a better, kinder way that people would have loved. What they could have done is move faster. And the reality is that the American way of doing war is to win as fast as possible. And we don't like long, drawn-out occupations. We don't like long, drawn-out military operations. That's true in Iraq. It's true in Afghanistan. It's true in Ukraine. It's true in the Gaza Strip. And so the kind of things that we Americans like to see are, for example, the operations against Hezbollah that took about 3 weeks to 5 weeks, or the operation against Iran, which took about 12 days, right? Those are operations that any ally of the United States can sustain. Long operations like the one that Israel has been performing in the Gaza Strip are inherently very, very difficult from PR level. And I'm not sure, to be frank, that there is a way for Israel to, quote unquote, win the PR war in the middle of a very long war against an intransigent terrorist enemy that legitimately embeds itself in the most damaging places.
A claim I receive often, and we're starting our campus tour tomorrow, is that Israel is committing genocide. How do you respond to that, Ben?
There's literally no definition of genocide by which Israel is committing a genocide. Typically, a genocide involves the targeted killing of the vast majority of the population, or at least an attempt to do so. There has never been a genocide attempted in world history in which the food that was being shipped in was more than the daily caloric intake of the average American into the areas where you're supposedly attempting to genocide the population. The total population loss in the Gaza Strip thus far has been 3%. During the Holocaust, just to take a reference, it was 50%. During Rwanda, it was significantly higher than 3%. You don't issue leaflet warnings to people. You don't go house to house in a genocide in an attempt to reduce civilian casualties. I understand that people use genocide at this point to just mean thing I don't like. And I get that. I understand. Nobody likes war. Nobody wants war. Certainly not the Israelis who are not at war on October 6th. The fact is that every Israeli family has to send their 18-year-old son or daughter off to the military with the possibility that they're going to get blown up in Gaza. That is not something that any Israeli.
Well,
Okay, I finally did get that email, TJ. Oh, wow. So apparently 6 days ago, there was a post, and it was by Benzie News 2, and it says Charlie Kirk has just passed away, # Charlie Kirk.
What? Can you send it?
Yeah.
Can you add it? Because Jen, I think you were able to add some links and present them, right?
yeah.
Oh, here, I'll send it to
she
Jen.
present
Yeah,
it.
I'll send it
No,
to Jen.
you can present it. You can present it.
You can present it yourself. Just click the present button down below.
Oh, okay. Do I just download? Oh, if I download it into my, I see.
If you, it's a video, eh?
It's, oh, it isn't. One of them is, no, it's just screenshots.
Okay.
I've never
'cause
done it
you-
from my computer before, which is so funny. Open file.
So you can email or text Jen or I, and then
Yeah.
that's wild. And
Right,
then
yeah,
we
because
can-
it is wild.
Holly, the rugs, put the D in front, and the artillery, the war machines, that and Big Pharma, those three are the top producers of power. And then we've got oil. So yeah, I mean, don't you want to take over where all the opium and stuff is? I mean, this has been going on for decades and decades and decades. Oh, I'm sure that Ben Shapiro is, especially after this, because you can't be a part, just like, Tucker Carlson going after Ted Cruz. You can't go after Israel and talk about it. I can't believe that they haven't taken out Tucker. He is way too vocal, and he is telling so much truth that they are having to create. So it's just, I can't believe he's still around myself. I would be more concerned about him. But Ben Shapiro, I mean, he seems to, I think if he script though, he's a goner.
You think? Yeah, apparently Megyn Kelly was supposed to speak with him a couple of weeks from now, Charlie too. I don't know. But yeah, Ben Shapiro was supposed to speak after him at the event. That's crazy. Okay, there's 7 more minutes. Should we listen?
I mean,
Yeah.
I think that it's important just because of that's the last upload.
Yeah, okay, let's finish
That's
then.
the last,
Oh.
that's his last
Mhm.
message.
Okay, and
You
that's
know?
why you think it's relevant versus this there's two sort
Well,
of
I think it's
camps.
also relevant because he's talking to Ben Shapiro. He's talking to Israel. He's talking, and Ben Shapiro doesn't mind telling us that he knows a lot of
Mhm.
militants in the Israeli government. And if you
Yes.
want to play devil's advocate, right, you would go to Tucker Carlson and you would listen to her. I mean, you would listen to an interview that he just did with a nun that was living in Israel, and she says that we are not getting the correct information. There is a genocide going on. We should be helping Palestine. We should be helping Gaza, and that thousands of Christians have been depleted, gone.
Mhm.
And she said,
Yeah.
this is, and she makes sure to let everybody know too, that Israel was created in 1948. That's something that people need to understand, that the Holy Land was taken. It was taken over. And we are set, we are told to stand with Israel. But when you are standing with Israel, you are standing, oh shoot, sorry. You're
Okay.
standing with, here we go. Let me share it with just the screen. Sorry. I think that this is what we want to see right here. Okay.
And this is the pictures for Trisha?
No. What I'm sharing, she hasn't sent me those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
This
I
is
sent
what
it
I'm
to her,
sharing.
so hold on. I hope I did.
Made in remarks.
Yes.
Because even though he's a supporter of Israel, he was facing criticism. And going on Tucker Carlson's YouTube channel and talking, even though he wasn't saying a whole lot about, he wasn't saying anything about, he wasn't being, the fact that he went on Tucker Carlson's show is just showing that I think that Charlie Kirk was having he was having a change of mind. I do.
Mm-hmm.
He was having so we're gonna read some of these and see what it says. Charlie Kirk, the conservative activist, shot dead at Utah Valley University, regularly presented himself as staunch defender of Israel and the Jewish people, even claiming earlier this year that no non-Jewish person my age has a longer or clearer record of support for Israel. Yet his past statements are laced with contradiction to that image. So see, they're claiming this. This is what, just like, when they, and you know who they are, when they say that we are being conspiracy theorists. This is also what they do to cause, this is hate. This is hate. To say this is not true. He shouldn't have to agree with everything that Israel does. He shouldn't.
Yeah, he should be free to say whatever he likes. I mean, you know.
Yeah. So he used this word from claims of Jewish control over cultural life to be blaming Jewish donors for fueling social and political ills. The tension between pro-Israel branding and rhetoric echoing well-known anti-Semitic stereotypes has been noted by Jewish and conservative commentators alike. Here are his 5 anti-Semitic remarks that drew criticism. Jewish philanthropy. Oh, my son is texting me, sorry. Subsiding your own demise. Shortly after Israel began its attack in Gaza, October 2023, Kirk claimed that Jewish philanthropy, now this is some stuff right here, funding American universities was effectively subsiding your own demise by supporting institutions that breed anti-Semites and endorse genocide killers, a framing that shifted blame onto Jewish donors themselves. Jews control the colleges, the nonprofits, the movies, Hollywood, all of it. And when you see this, I want you to think of Epstein, because Epstein, the sun was shining on him when this man was taken out. All the values with Ghislaine, Jizzy, all of the values were engulfed with her. So during this event, there was a reason why I was watching this event, y'all. In October 2023, Kirk alleged that Jews dominated universities, nonprofits, and Hollywood alike, a sweeping claim echoing entrenched conspiracy theories. See how they get you? Oh, it's just conspiracy, y'all. Move along. It's not true. Of Jewish institutional control. He also accused elite or secular Jewish philanthropies of pumping money into universities while turning a blind eye to anti-Semitism, effectively casting Jewish donors as complicit in the problem. He even labeled elite Jewish culture a main funding source for schools that breed Jew hatred. The number one funding mechanism is Jewish donors. Kirk argued that radical or liberal cultural and political institutions are primarily funded by Jewish donors, thereby reviving the trope of wealthy Jews manipulating politics and culture. And this is what me and my mom had a rude awakening conversation, a come to Jesus meeting at her office in 2008. And it's about this. Follow the money, they say. It goes back to Rome. Nope, it doesn't. Nope. Unless that's where Rome, unless you want to go to Rome for that. The number one funding mechanism of radical open border, neoliberal, quasi-Marxist policies, culture institutions, and nonprofits is Jewish donors. Kirk linked Jewish financial support to the spread of the so-called cultural Marxist ideas, a narrative that has long been associated with anti-Semitic portrayals of Jews as the instigators of societal decay. Tucker Carlson, look at this. Yeah. This is what it is too. Tucker Carlson mentions that Jewish Americans have primarily been financing cultural Marxist ideas. We said this, by the way, last week, and people came after us. We actually said it in a different way. We said, I'm glad that Jewish Americans are reconsidering their financing of cultural Marxism. In November 2023, while defending billionaire entrepreneur Elon Musk. Okay, so this is another important. As an astrologer, I've got to say this. Elon Musk is in transit at this moment. This is when this is the reason why I stopped the chart at the time that I did on the 10th at 1:14 Nashville time. Is because Elon comes into transit too with Trump, who had endorsed an explicitly anti-Semitic post. Kirk said, Jewish communities have been pushing the exact kind of hatred against whites that they claim to want people to stop using it against them, and said that the philosophical foundation of anti-whiteness has been largely financed by Jewish donors in the country. The anti-whiteness, what did we see with the girl, and we you know, from Ukraine? That happened on the 22nd. But they didn't just start feeding it to us and making a big deal about it until just a couple of days ago. I mean, we got to, y'all, they are controlling our minds. The brain, the mind is the builder of your kingdom. You believe in Christ? I believe in Christ.
Right.
And even if you don't, your kingdom is the brain. It's your, I mean, it's the power of your mind. And this is what Kirk is. So I think that this is what is happening. I think that he was understanding what was really going on. And he was trying his best not to rock the boat, but also to bring in, you know, sometimes you want to be close to your enemy. You want to get the ins and outs of your enemy. You want to keep them close, not far away. And so I think that there is something going on here with his change of mind. Accusations of anti-Semitism were increasingly being weaponized to restrict debate. Do you see that? Because they restricted him. They restricted him because it was being weaponized. You cannot have a debate. You cannot have a debate about Israel. You can have a debate about any country, not Israel. The Israel that we created. Why? Because that's where we created it for a reason. Once anti-Semitism becomes valid grounds to censor or even imprison somebody, there will be frantic efforts to label all kinds of speech. And that's what's coming. That's what's coming. It's already here. It's already here. The same way the left labeled all kinds of statements as racist to justify silencing their opposition. Not only that, but all of this won't even work. So this is what this last video that he has with this dude, Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro is reading from Netanyahu's script. If he goes against it, he's done. I can promise you that. But the person that would stand up, excuse me, because of the restriction of debate would be Kirk. And I think that that's why he's gone. And this Mossad, I mean, it doesn't have to be a man. It could definitely be Ghislaine. I mean, her father, her own father, who wasn't Jewish, is buried in the Holy Land. That's a whole big old rabbit hole that if you haven't gone down, you really want to go down it, because I think that he was getting older and getting wiser, and he was going to take over and make the world beautiful, make America really great again. He was going to see through all the BS, all the stuff that I talk about with the jabs, all of that. He would not have been able to, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. Once you see the problems.
Wasn't that what Trump was supposed to be here to do? I mean, just like you're talking about, Trisha, this, I'd love to see the pictures you're going to pull up. That's what Trump, there was a book written about Donald Trump being the last president and the prophecy, and he was going to bring to awareness all this deep state shit. There's a book that was written about that in 1800s. Have you heard of that?
Which one?
Again, I was coughing.
What's that?
I said, say it again. I was coughing. I'm still trying to get over this.
I said there's a book. I'll have to pull it up. There was a book that was written in the 1800s about Donald Trump being the last president, and how in 1800, and his son's name is in this book. Yeah, and it mentions Baron Trump. Thank you, Lois.
Oh,
Do you remember
yes,
the name
yes,
of the book?
yes,
Really?
yes. Yes, it sure does.
Yes.
It sure does.
Thanks,
Look,
Lois. I didn't know. I never heard that.
Let's also,
Yeah.
okay, so there was a thing, people were saying that, and Charlie was, I think that he was really starting to get wise, because people would say, well, you can't say stuff like that and then say that you're all MAGA. And he's like, hold on. Okay, so let's talk about MAGA. So the uncle of Trump, Uncle Trump, he confiscated all of the works of Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Tunguska event as well, that we can go back and we can say that was not a meteor.
Right.
No, y'all were playing with directed energy. You were playing with Tesla's works. Okay, so these people, they think, a lot of them think that they are playing a role with the biblical lineage. Yeah, like an Ivy League. Only it's about lineage. And if this is the time period with the lunar eclipse, with the full moon in Pisces that we are coming out of, but it's still very much going to be prevalent until next year. This is a big time for us and for humanity to wake the hell up. These people are feeding lies. It's not this side and that side, left and right, in the middle, and all this. They are all pulling our chain like a puppet. So you can either play the part as a puppet, or you can take control. I mean, it's really up to us. And I think that is what was happening. That's my opinion. I think that that's what was happening. I think that there is a reason why I saw all of them coming into transit, and it's because it all matters. The things that he was going about. You can't go against your donor, the donor of Israel. You cannot go against that. And you have to go with their science. He even said even Disney is controlled. We've been knowing this. But for him to say it, that's big. That's big, because how many politicians, or he wasn't really a politician yet, but he could have been. He could have taken over the whole establishment and brought a beautiful peace to earth. But he was taken out, because that is not something that they can do. They can't have happen.
Yeah.
No, it's scary. This so you guys were asking which book. So this is talking about the book. This was published in the Hindustan Times. I just showed you all a bunch of pictures. Just look it up. Could Trump, the last president, and it talks about it. This was written in January 25, 2025. An American author, once forgotten novels from the late 1800s have found a second life on TikTok thanks to Trump's family conspiracy theories, as Donald Trump's return to the White House has reignited an interest in the mostly forgotten pair of books from the 1800s. Ingersoll Lockwood's novels have sparked conspiracy theories that the MAGA leader's second presidential term was foreseen. Additionally, the books dig further into Trump's family's relating to the POTUS youngest son, Barron Trump, who could potentially be the last president. So these are the books. If you want to take a screenshot, I just wanted to let everybody get those, and then we'll go back to the video. Jen, keep talking. I just wanted to let everybody know what was on the screen.
That's just so interesting. Wow. I might be able to share this.
I want to say you can get this book online.
Here, I'll put it.
You don't even have to pay for it. You can read the book online. If I remember, I used to be able to. I got it online.
Did you? Here's the link to the article. I'm just putting it in the chat there for everybody.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild because, Karen Daniel, the book about Barron Trump is called Barron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's more than one.
Everything that they're doing, y'all. They're going to tell us everything that they're doing. They're not going to hide nothing. They're going to tell us, but who's paying attention? I mean, who is paying attention? No one. No one.
Yeah.
No. But I'm wondering, did you figure out how to get the pictures up, Trisha?
Well,
Because
I think so. I said I did the share button, but I don't know if it's shared. Like it
there it
says
is.
it's shared.
There it is.
Okay, there we
I
go.
just had to put it on screen. Sorry, honey. Okay, I
I
can't.
was like, I don't know what's there.
Okay, can we zoom in?
Yeah, let me try to zoom in a little bit too.
Let me remove it. See if you can zoom in, and then we'll re-add it. This is wild stuff.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Oh, we can go all into the rabbit hole.
Well, I want to show you another.
Hang
I
out.
want to show you another video. The body language guy found a video of a guy in a band, and they wrote a song about how they were going to kill Charlie Kirk. So
Wow.
that was posted on social media a week ago, I think.
Yeah, this one was from 6 days ago. Is
As
that
long as they
is that a
keep the
little bit
dynamics
better?
confused, they're going to get away with everything. They get away
Yeah.
with everything. I don't know what it says. Can you read it, Lady Freedom?
Is that a little bit better? It says Benzie News 2, right? 6 days ago. Charlie Kirk has just passed away. It has like the dove, it has a tombstone, and it says hashtag Charlie Kirk.
Well,
and this is what TJ was kind enough to send over. Isn't that weird?
It is, because you know what else is weird? Chris Cuomo did his thing, and Chris Cuomo showed a picture, and JD Vance commented January 1st, 2025. And I said, why is JD Vance commenting January 1st, 2025? I swear to God.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, are we looking at AI? I mean, are we looking at some kind of, is this real? You know what I mean? Like, what is happening here?
True, right. I know. Yeah,
You
we
know?
are in parallel universe or something.
Well, there is that whole, we'll get onto that a whole other day if we really want to. There is, because that I really need some wine and maybe something else stronger for. But, the multiple timeline paralines, like we're living in a simulation and this is all shit that's already happened, right? There's that. Look at The Simpsons.
Oh yeah. I was just thinking of Homer and that is so hilarious. And also Tyson or Neil deGrasse Tyson, he goes into all that, and I'm sitting there just watching him like, what are you talking about? But it's interesting.
Oh, sure.
What is this guy going on about? It's interesting. I listen to it. I listen to everything, even if I don't, even if I don't agree. I still like to listen to what people have to say. I really do.
I don't think anybody really knows. Like truly what's going on in the world, I bet you comes down to a dozen people. I don't know. Like really, really, the Rothschilds, like the really, really rich that really truly run the world. There's probably, what's that woe about?
Oh, there's so many books that you could read on that too, about how there's certain amount of families that run everything and the elites versus, regular people. And, oh yeah, very interesting stuff.
My youngest daughter studied human rights and ethics and leadership, a dual degree, and her profs were all from the UN and all said they left the UN because it's a freaking joke. They get nothing done. It's not what you think. And she started deep diving into this stuff, and she's like, wow. So she left the industry. She's like, I'm not going to go into an industry that's all a bunch of smoke and mirrors and really isn't doing. Yeah, it's really wild. It's really wild. The UN's not what, according to my daughter, all her profs, that's not what it's, it's not as glorious there either. It's really all a lot of propaganda. So very scary. Yeah. Okay, let's watch the rest.
And utopian societies never work either, and that's supposed to be the most ideal society ever, and everything's going to be perfect, and this is great, and then that's where cults are born. Come live on the commune.
I know. Well, I know.
Drink the Kool-Aid.
I know. I know.
Oh goodness.
Oh, Jen, are you still around?
Yeah, I'm still
Quiet.
here.
Okay, you're quiet.
I'm just letting everybody just talk.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's
Go
go.
ahead.
Let's finish this video.
Okay.
Is that okay? And then
Okay.
we'll bring up another topic.
To hear this
Okay.
because there is an incessant campaign. And one thing a friend said to me, interestingly, which is, okay, Charlie, we've pushed back against the media on COVID, on lockdowns, on Ukraine, on the border. So maybe we should also ask a question. Is the media totally presenting the truth when it comes to Israel? Just a question, that maybe we shouldn't believe everything the media says, because I know I've been conditioned to ask a lot more critical questions over the last couple of years. So, Ben, some people would accuse Israel of wanting to ethnically cleanse. Some people in the Israeli government are saying, again, it's all over the place, right? You have opinions all over. In your opinion, what would a good outcome 5 years from now be? And how does one respond to the claims of ethnic cleansing?
So ethnic cleansing, the idea, presumably, that population movement is equivalent to ethnic cleansing. I think ethnic cleansing is a term that's been fairly recently coined to describe population movement during war. And the reality is that's been ongoing for literally all of human history. The idea that Israel is, quote unquote, forcing people out of the Gaza Strip, that is not the stated policy of the Israeli government. The idea is if people want to leave, they can, but they're not being forced to leave. Again, moving people out of heavily urbanized areas that are honeycombed with terrorist booby traps pretty much everywhere is not the same thing as, quote unquote, ethnic cleansing. And I think that ethnic cleansing is very often used as sort of a softer form of the genocide attack. The idea being that Israel is trying to kill everyone, which of course is not true. As far as your earlier question about what we believe from the media, one of the things that I find kind of astonishing in some of the folks on the right who are highly critical of Israel is actually the lack of the lack of skepticism when it comes to legacy media. Legacy media are radically anti-Israel overall. The New York Times can certainly not be accused of being a pro-Israel outlet. It'd be very difficult to make the accusation that the Associated Press, which has worked hand in glove with Hamas for years, or Reuters, that these are wildly pro-Israel outlets. And yet, when it comes to the reporting, it seems to be sort of the opposite.
Ben,
so the perception the legacy media is like owned by the Jews. And
I was going to say, Ben, come
on.
You Jews own the media, Ben. So, I mean, come on. As you could tell by all the wonderful headlines you guys get.
Well, I mean, dude, the accusation that we own the media has not prevented, the Daily Wire from employing people who radically disagree with me on all of these matters. I mean, I don't agree with Matt Walsh on foreign policy. Matt obviously is a major host over at Daily Wire, and that's just my shop. And I'm overtly pro-Israel. Right? I mean, I'm not making any bones about this. I'm a Jew and I'm a Zionist. I'm not going to pretend that to say otherwise would be absolutely silly. To suggest that some sort of atheistic Jewish person by birth who does not care about Judaism or Israel owning the New York Times means the New York Times is pro-Israel is to ignore literally every bit of coverage they have ever done for my entire lifetime.
We're running out of time here, but just last question on this, Ben. I know this might be a tougher question, but Bibi said, quote, I didn't like how he said this. I'll be honest. You can't be MAGA if you're anti-Israel. I don't like it for a couple reasons. How did you analyze that statement from Bibi?
I mean, and I think that there is the ungenerous way of interpreting that and then the generous way of interpreting that. So the ungenerous way is to suggest that you have to hold a particular position on every Israeli governmental activity in order to be MAGA, which of course is not true. I mean, you can disagree from the right or from the left with Bibi's policies, and you can still be plenty MAGA. I think the idea that Bibi is putting out there is that if you are taking Hamas's side against Israel in a conflict, it is very difficult to align that with the stated positions of the Trump administration or what President Trump himself is doing right now. I certainly is true.
You cannot look. I think you can have disagreements on Israel and still be MAGA. Obviously, you should be America first. But if you're pro-Hamas, you're something darker, and we shouldn't put up with that. Ben, tell us about your important new book.
So the basic idea in Lions and Scavengers is that inside every human heart, and this goes back to the book of Genesis, that there really is the dutiful part of you that wants to engage in what God made for you, this incredible rationalistic world in which you can mostly understand what's going on, and you have a duty to do the moral thing. You get up every morning, you try to build something, you try to be innovative and risk-taking, you try to defend your civilization, you try to build the social fabric. And then there is the part of us that's driven by envy. And that part of us just looks at our problems and immediately attributes it to some shadowy force outside of our control and tries to rip down the very systems that actually provide prosperity, tries to rip down the lions out of pure envy. Here, think Zoran Mamdani. And that exists in all of us, but it exists civilizationally as well. And when you look at the sort of activities that were taking place on college campus last year, And you see the weird agglomeration of causes that all come together under varying banners. Sometimes it's hating President Trump over immigration. Sometimes it's on Israel. Sometimes it's on LGBT. But it's the same exact people all marching together. And you wonder to yourself, what do these people have in common? And the answer is pretty much nothing, except they really, really don't like our civilization and see the fundamental basis of our civilization as evil and wrong, and believe that it needs to be torn out by the root. This is, to take the most obvious example, Queers for Palestine. Everybody's been puzzling over what the hell is that, right? Queers in Palestine get thrown off buildings. So what is it? The answer is that the radical LGBTQ group doesn't have much in common with the pro-Hamas group, except that both really, really hate the West and believe that the traditional values of our civilization need to be destroyed in order so that they can live more fulfilling lives in some way.
What would you say is the missing component for those of us in the West to stand up against these forces? What would you say we're doing well and that we need to do more of?
That's the dangerous line he's entering in here right now. That's right. Like, that's really.
I mean, I think that what we lack, and I think we're starting to see a restoration of it, is the courage to actually stand up on our hind legs and say no. I think that good people tend to be introspective. We tend to think, okay, what did I do wrong? How do I fix that? We tend to apologize when we do something wrong. Bad people tend to take an apology and then grind your face into the dust over it because they're not engaged in guilt cultures. They're engaged in what are called shame cultures, where the most important thing is not to be made to feel shame, and it is to shame others. And so I think that we, those of us who consider ourselves part of Western civilization, we need to recognize that a constant self-abnegation, a constant attempt to tear ourselves down out of a misguided sense of humility in the face of people who are happy to just destroy our civilization from without and within, that is a gigantic mistake. And it is totally fine to say to people who wish to destroy our civilization, no, your values suck and they don't belong here.
Where does all this resentment come from?
It comes from a wide variety of places, but it tends to come in general from a feeling of frustration and enervation. And so I think that you can get that from people who believe they have been marginalized. You can get that from people who believe they deserve more. You see it a lot, actually, with university students who seem to believe that they deserve a $250,000 salary for a gender studies degree because they've been taught that they ought to be getting more, and then they don't get it. And then they're angry at their parents for not having put them in a position to do that. And so they rebel against everything that they've been taught and everything they haven't been taught. I also think it comes from a bored population. Very often you have people who grew up without any sense of external threat, and they think that pretty much everything that's good in life is the baseline, that's just normal, and that you can tear away everything without the baseline falling away. That, of course, is just false. Some of it comes from ignorance. Some of it comes from envy. The reality is that gratitude as a characteristic of human beings has to be cultivated. It's something you have to teach your kids, gratitude. Envy is totally natural. Right? Envy is easy to do. You see it with small children, right? I have 4, and it's very easy to see kids envy each other and get on each other's case. Being grateful for what they have is a very difficult thing. You have to teach your kids to say thank you. You don't have to teach your kids to say no.
Ben?
Wild.
Yeah.
That sounds like they were aligned at the end there with their beliefs, right? Like,
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
I want to show.
Well, and I think what Ben said is really important. I just think it's important to remember for all of us. Like, I have to remind myself to have gratitude. I have to remind myself, especially, in hard times or if you're having a bad day, it's easy to kind of lose sight of it.
Yeah. Like me yesterday, sorry, I keep trying to pull them up and they start automatically. Yeah, I was just saying the same thing yesterday with my little pity party. Shame on me, It's like people have it way worse. People have it way worse, So I don't know.
Yeah, but it's important to like be in tune with your own feelings too, and recognize it, because even though a lot of times we ignore that and it does build up. So, I think about these people that kind of, lose their shit, so to speak. And I wonder how many, personal days they've taken for themselves to really, recharge and touch grass and get out of that mindset that they're being brainwashed in, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Whatever makes you take a gun and, clock tower
They
people.
do this all the time. So why is Israel so important? Why do we have? Because we said Ben Shapiro is Jewish. So we're talking about the church and the state. We're talking about war and how he, I don't know. I can't get behind the fact that we are so pro-Israel and not pro-America.
Mm-hmm.
Because
No.
that was literally created in 1948.
Well, try being Canadian. Try being Canadian, where our culture,
like, really, y'all.
We don't even have a culture left. We don't even, like, Canadians just become like, and I'm not anti-immigration. Let's just make that clear. Nor am I a racist, but
I just think that a lot of people don't know the history. They don't understand the history.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why they are so brainwashed, because you don't know the history, and you can be groomed. And we hear all this great stuff and all this bad stuff about Hamas. Why was Hamas even created in the first place? What was happening? I just think that people don't educate themselves, and they take everybody's word at face value. And we are so programmed by the news, by the movies, California, Hollywood, all of that, and we become their puppets, and we don't even know it. We don't even realize. We don't even realize it. And Ben Shapiro is a smooth, sharp talker, but if he flips that narrative, if he really had a lot of spirit of truth within him, he would not support what has been going on for the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. No Christian would. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can't make me unsee and unhear the things that are really going on there. And we're not there. We're here in America. The war isn't on us, but will it be on us? Mm-hmm. Possibly, because that's the only thing that's going to take Americans down to their knees and really appreciate what they have.
So,
and what they don't have.
Okay, because we're clearing out the room real fast. So we're going to move the topic, Jennifer. That's okay.
I can jump off.
No. I'm just saying, everybody, we're losing a lot of people, so we're going to switch topics if that's okay, because I think a lot of people are. I want to
go and eat anyway. I've got to go and eat anyway. I got to go eat, y'all. I will talk to you.
No, don't jump off. Don't jump off.
I'm not worried about the room. I could care less about the room.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
I care less about who I'm losing and who I'm not, because we do have the right to speak what we think is really going on. And what is really going on is the fact that we are so damn dumbed down. And if people don't want to stay and hear the fact that we are dumbed down, then they've got problems. And they're not my vibe. They're not my tribe.
No, I know. Well, I'm just saying, I also have other videos. That's fine. Like, I don't. Yeah. So, I mean, I get it. I said I wanted you to say what you felt, and that's how I feel. So I don't want you to get offense. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean,
we do love it.
I do need to eat, so I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay. I just want to I want to also talk about why there was no protection. Like, this is like the assassination attempt against Trump, where there was, like, why did they take him in his own vehicle to go to the hospital? Where was the ambulance? Like, that to me is wild. So that's why I was just trying to switch topics as well, because I still want to talk a little bit about that, So
yeah, well, and wasn't it Candace Owens? Holly S said something about Candace Owens and her, being taken out too because of some of the topics that she would talk about, one being P. Diddy. And, I know that's not the topic that we're on, but I find it to be interesting because then she went off and did her own YouTube thing. And Candace Owens is really, big and popular in many of the, conservative sectors. So I don't understand that, I mean, I'll just say I'm surprised that, she hasn't had more hate. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know enough about the people, the players being Canadian, but us, I don't really know what they stand for, so I can't really speak to that. But anyways, Jen, I want you to say what you want to say. I just want us to watch this first so we can get these in because I got a long list, and then we can go back to what you want to. I want you to say what you want to say, so don't take it that way. But I just want to show um a couple of videos because I think it's, well, one, this is really interesting. Did are these the guys behind it? Because there's some interesting stuff here. So let's
So
watch.
the FBI has posted those two photos of the person of interest that they're looking for, and they are really interested in this person of interest because they're offering $100,000 for any information that leads to, well, this person. And the internet did not disappoint. It's so many users all over, not only 4chan but X. I can't believe I'm saying this. Have done their own, let's say, research. And just a warning, everything that you're going to watch in this video is allegedly. I am just going to read things that people have found and, let's say, dots that people are connected. This is as deep as the rabbit hole goes. So people are talking about an individual called Sky Valdez. And ex-users are pointing to the chance that Sky Valdez and Omar Najera were in on the Charlie Kirk shooting together. Remember that we talked about this. Charlie Kirk is coming to my college tomorrow. I really hope someone evaporates him literally.
Yeah, so this guy posted this Omar that something big is going to happen tomorrow. Watch this.
Let's just say something big will happen tomorrow. We spoke about this. This is Sky Valdez. This is from Pinterest. There's also some images from Instagram. It seems that they're in a band and with Omar Najera. So where does this lead to? The Charlie Kirk shooter allegedly seems to be Sky Valdez, a transgender man. I sometimes have a bit of a confusion with that. A transgender man, what does that mean? Transgender woman? You know, those are strange stuff. This is still unconfirmed at this moment. Again, all is allegedly, but based on public findings, this appears to be identified as an individual known as Sky Valdez of Ogden, Utah, part of a trans activist gun group who was posting a digital album called Death to America's Scum and, wait for it, Charlie Kirk is dead to me. All right. So in some pictures, you know, that's something that I have to warn you. The half picture that you see on your left and on this side, sorry, on your left, is an AI enhanced version of the pictures released by the FBI. I don't trust AI enhanced pictures because AI tends to include things that are not there and are misleading. But people are superimposing, in all cases, the AI enhanced photo on the left with the picture of Sky Valdez on the right hand. I would say that so many things match, especially the skull, the skull shape is a pretty good match. It's a pretty good match. Multiple accounts reporting they may have identified the Charlie Kirk shooter. 4chan Intel identified suspect Sky Valdez had a SoundCloud with a track that was uploaded with a track a month ago titled Charlie Kirk Dead at 31. Uploaded a track to SoundCloud. SoundCloud is a platform where you can host music, your music as a band, and then deleted the track and changed his location to Leave Me Alone. Lives in Utah and is transgender. So this was the track, Charlie Kirk Dead at 31, and people were already leaving comments in here. FBI is coming to your door. You call it a coincidence, but I call it BS. Holy foreshadowing. What Undertale is this track for? Yeah, there's so many stuff, crazy stuff. Otto Wolf, the Charlie Kirk alleged assassinator, Sky Valdez had photos on his now scrubbed Instagram with the trans from yesterday, Omar, who knew of the assassination before it happened. So again, this is the thing that I'm a bit frustrated at times. We arrive late at the social media scene and everything begins to be scrubbed off the.
It's true. How many times are there warnings from the person that's going to do this on social media? It's wild. And then, Jen, I wanted to show this because you think this is baloney, but this is the narrative that they're pushing, that this is a transgender ideology, that his rifle was all, written on the bullet casings and everything, all kinds of propaganda, transgender stuff. So
Well,
that's the narrative they're running with.
George Webb is somebody that's really good to show videos of, because he breaks it. He's been in the trenches for a long time, and George Webb is going to, as soon as it took place, I mean, he was crying, and he said it word for word what was going to happen. We know what they're going to do. We already know it. It's a pattern, and it's crazy that other people don't recognize that there is a pattern. George Webb talks about a white rabbit, and he is so on point. This is such a this is going to be the spin. You have to have, they are going to spin it, and they want us to be at odds. It's either there is some type of equality that we cannot come to grips with, and that's the person that's going to be the patsy. There's a patsy. Y'all can Google it if you don't know what that means. But it's an old term for something that is just someone that is used for your agenda. That's it. Whatever your agenda is, that's a patsy.
Rogue says there's a press conference in 36 minutes, so we'll stay on for that for sure. I wonder if they caught the guy. We'll be curious to see if it's this guy on the screen here. I hope subject of sense continue to prove the truth. Yes. And for love, truly. Well, this is what I think it is, but that Jen thinks it's a specific state. We all have our different opinions. I think it's deep state. I think for sure it reminds me of the assassination attempt against Trump, how he got up there. There was no protection. I think the guy that was in charge of the protection on campus needs to be fired. I noticed he was in the first news conference and not in the second, because, you know, he was responsible for, he was responsible for the detailing security on campus. I think he failed epically. You know, he probably was dismissed, I'm guessing. You know, so, but somebody said here that they were hoping that that Ben Shapiro didn't set up. Is that what you were referring to, Holly? That you were hoping that Ben Shapiro didn't set up Kirk? Because I sure hope not, because that's wild. But I don't know. I think he probably pissed some people off too, Jen. I don't know. But there's two different narratives. Well, there's the deep state narrative, and then there's this narrative going on.
And we don't know that his own team didn't off him. We just don't know. But they're gonna spin it. They're gonna spin it.
Well, they have to have some responsibility. Why did they put him in the back seat of their car and not take him to an ambulance? That is suspect.
You know, the numbers don't lie.
They sure did. I saw that too. Yeah, they sure did.
Like, that is like, his wife better be looking into those people, because that does not seem like a route to saving him when you don't have a paramedic in an ambulance. Like, what the TF? I don't get that. I don't get that at all. I think that was a bad mistake. And somebody even in the media said they're saying he died in hospital later, probably to cover their ass. I wonder if he didn't die in that car. Like, what the hell?
Internet.
I don't get
the
it.
same rifle? Sky Valdez posted it and could prove they were training with the same rifle. A shot from that distance wouldn't be hard with that zero scope. And there's a Pinterest in which Sky Valdez was using a rifle. For you, my body language buddies who are into rifles and know how to identify, maybe you can see from this angle, the shape and size. There's a big suppressor in there. I don't know if you could tell that it's the same rifle that was recovered by the FBI. 4chan found Sky Valdez yesterday, while GeneMax FBI was still focused on that old boomer. More information. Sky Valdez of Ogden, Utah had a music project called God's Finest Scalpel, and in April released a digital album called Death to American Scum, which included a track called Charlie Kirk's Death Isn't Enough for Me. Oh, right. This is so strange. The number 2. He apparently also had a song on SoundCloud called Charlie Kirk Dead at 31, which has since been removed. This lead seems to have first been discovered by an enterprising user of 4chan's POL Boar. Checking 4chan. 4chan can be crazy, man. Crazy. Again, this according to Tyro Prone, allegedly, I'm just reading stuff posted on X. Sky Valadez, trans teacher in Utah, posted a song a month ago titled Charlie Kirk Dead at 31. They call themselves God's Finest Scalpel. Oh my God, the SoundCloud got deleted. Sky Valadez doesn't link to any real names. He's the trans bassist of the band. The singer of the band is named August Hegoas. Maybe born Layla. Again, I'm telling you, I'm so confused with all this. This is kind of stuff that you, when you go to the depth of the internet, this is what you find, and it's way beyond Forrest Gump's box of chocolate. You don't know what you're getting into. Her dad is Brandon Hegoas and works for Northman Gunthrop. Oh, interesting. I tried to submit a tip to FBI, but their website isn't letting me. They should interrogate her now. Her or him, I don't know. Guess I found more images showing Sky Valadez. The body and shoulder structure looks similar to what FBI Salt Lake City posted. Justice for Charlie. Also, Pinterest already took down Sky Valadez page, Rainy Sky 021, which had transgender styling pics and military pics according to a Google image search. So many things. There are doubts as well. Do you really think this person, Sky Valadez, is capable of shooting someone in the neck from 200 meters? Well, why not? If you're in a prone position, if you have your...
No, that guy was an expert. I think that guy knew how to shoot a gun. I don't know. I don't know how to shoot a gun, but what do you think? I think that guy knew how to shoot a gun very, very well. He was very well trained and very well prepared for that. You know, I don't think he was, Tracy, but I think if they had an ambulance on site, like Donna said, why in a university setting like that would they not have paramedics on board? That is just crazy. Yeah, he was a sniper. We'll see that. For sure. He was on the roof of a building, laying prone. And on top of that, I saw kids going, who's that on the building? Where are the freaking cops that let somebody up on the building? It's exactly what we saw in Pennsylvania. It's very suspect, in my opinion.
I can go all the way back to Kennedy. We can go back to Kennedy. We can go back to 9/11. It's the same people, different names, different masks. They're all the same. They're all the same, but they're not. They're going to spin it. Yeah, we all think that it's a sniper, that it's a professional, but they're going to spin it, and it's going to be, it's going to be a young dude or a girl that is a trans. That's how they're going to.
That's what they're going to spin it. They're
already doing it.
Well, and I'm not a professional, but I mean, I'm not a bad shot myself. I mean, a big rifle or something like that might be a little different, but with a handgun, I mean, I can hit a target.
Yeah.
I
mean, I'll definitely be looking at that comparison, the Martin Luther King.
And I got a video.
That's definitely possible.
Yeah, I got a sniper's comment too on it. If we want to watch that, we'll see where we get before the media update. But I wonder if the update is that they've got somebody in custody. I would suspect that's what it is. Let's hope.
A rifle against your shoulder and have a good scope. I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe you can tell me in the comments about that. And yes, see, 4chan is the new PSYOP delivery system, outpacing the good old FBI. The suspect, Sky Valadez, had a SoundCloud track, blah, blah, blah. Now the track is wiped, and yet this hit was clearly professional. Layered planning, decoys, execution. That's the thing that we have said from the beginning. This looks really professional. It doesn't sound like something done by a single person. So why are mainstream outlets and talking heads suddenly treating 4chan credibly? Why now? Who benefits from breaking the September 11 spell and casting a new one? Who's the target audience? How does Palantir and Gideon fit in? Oh my God, we are going into heavy stuff here. Is this person capable of doing this? And this is the post from FBI Salt Lake City. I already made a video about this. That's what I thought was odd, that the body shape looked odd for a guy. Maybe the shape looked more adequate for a woman. If it's a trans man, it's a woman, right? And that would explain the size of the hands in regards to the head. That would explain a lot of things. That would feed a lot of things.
I don't agree. What do you think? I think it just skinny male. He just looks like a skinny male to me. I don't think it's anyway. What do you think? Anybody else?
He looks like a young guy or like a kid, right? Like a boy. I think
so. I think so too. It's just a slender male build, right?
Breaking. Sky Valadez, potential Charlie Kirk shooter, allegedly has just now changed their username and their profile picture and removed all of their information. This complete. I told you. Crazy stuff. Again,
Okay, let's watch something else here.
Yeah, that's
Thanks.
that's all just total assumption. I agree, Michelle.
Yeah, it's just, yeah. I want to show this though, because this is very interesting, and I think this is really disgusting. Apparently TMZ, this is another video after this. Apparently TMZ was caught laughing and celebrating when they announced his death. I've got a video on that.
Oh no.
Yep. Yep, we'll watch that after this. This is a 15 minutes of lefties losing it and celebrating his death.
Losing it, and tonight's edition of Lefties will feature some of the ugliness, some of the utter depravity that has followed the murder of Charlie Kirk, a thoroughly decent, principled man brutally murdered today, and the soulless ghouls of the left were quick to celebrate.
And there are a lot of people that are like, no matter what side of politics you're on, you should never celebrate something bad happening to someone. I, on the other hand, do cheer when bad things happen to bad people.
Charlie Kirk just got shot. Well, breaking news, folks. Seems somebody just took a shot at one of the Fantafast's favorite 5-mile wide mouthpieces, Charles Chuckle Kirk.
And sadly, the vile left has not been shy about showcasing their ugliness, their utter callous depravity. This is what leftism does to your mind and soul.
Charlie Kirk got shot and killed. How do you feel?
Happy. Goodbye.
Wow. Did you see that Charlie Kirk just got shot and killed?
That's good.
Wow. That's good. That's good that people are getting shot just off a political view.
Charlie Kirk gets shot and killed today. We're just getting people's opinions. How do you feel about that?
Girl, someone had to do it. And that's how I feel at this point in time. But
Yeah, I appreciate your honesty. I truly do. So you said someone had to do it.
yes. Try not to get all pulled up into that, but he was a misogynist. He was a disgusting person with disgusting beliefs.
Enough of that trash. Let's look at how the media professionals cover this tragic event, this act of domestic terrorism. Here is MSNBC.
In which a shooting like this happens.
Yeah, and again, to emphasize what you just emphasized, we don't know any of the full details of this. We don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea.
Yeah, pretty sure we knew immediately it wasn't that. Charlie Kirk supporters don't go around shooting their guns in celebration like they're attending some wedding in Iraq. And
So that MSNBC guy was fired today for that comment. Yeah, it's just disgusting. Absolutely
of
disgusting.
course, MSNBC had to engage in victim blaming by calling Charlie divisive.
Charlie Kirk is a divisive figure, polarizing, lightning rod, whatever term you want to use. Why?
Well, he's one of MAGA's most prominent voices online. He hosts a near daily podcast.
But that was just stupid. What I'm about to play you is straight out depraved, disgusting commentary. This is Matthew Dowd again on MSNBC, not long after Charlie was shot.
He's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech or sort of aimed at certain groups. And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions. And I think that's the environment we're in, that people just, you can't stop with these sort of awful thoughts you have and then saying these awful words and not expect awful actions to take place.
Matt.
And that's the unfortunate environment we're in.
That was so vile. So
You can hear the co-host trying to stop him, right? Like Matt, and then he got fired for that. Like, who effing says that? Like, I think she goes on to say, like, he's not even, his blood's not even cold in his body yet. And you're like, it's effing disgusting. These people are disgusting. It's wild. Any comments, ladies? Any thoughts?
I agree. I think it's terrible. And I think, even in the chat, people are, Donna says he's being, he's a human being. And, even if you don't agree or you really don't like the things that he said, that doesn't give you a right to say, well, I think it's a good thing and, dance around like a,
But the majority, the majority of people don't think that way. They're spinning a narrative. And the more people that spin this narrative, there's hate. It incites violence.
Well, I think some of these people
dumb down, confused, at each other's throats, and we have to keep that in the most forefront of our mind. They're not for us. These politicians, these big pharma agents, they're not for us.
But do you think some of these people that are spreading this hate and disdain for Charlie, I think some of these people believe it. And I think they are actually brainwashed. And that's scary to me. And they're all young people. This is our
But it's
future.
okay. So it's
Right.
okay for one person that we just listened to say that he is happy if they all lose their life, and that's okay. So that pro unaliving is okay, but this pro unaliving isn't. And I think that
Well,
that's where we really need to have deeper conversations, because this programming, you have to keep a guard over your mind and all the things
yeah.
that are feeding us. And this is a part of that feeding, is to show that there are people that are excited about it. Well, there's people that are excited about all kinds of war and unaliving going on every day. They talk about it casually. Politicians do. We just
Yeah.
heard Ben Shapiro just talk about how all of that unaliving he was excited about. And so it's got to be for the whole, for everybody, I think.
Well,
And
everybody,
I will
exactly.
say, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Leanne. I'm sorry.
No, go. I'm muting.
Well, I was gonna no, I was just gonna say when Jen said that too, I definitely noticed that, and I thought, how ironic is this? And guys, I'm not trying to be hateful or anything. I think you guys know how I feel. I feel like it's terrible. I'm not, condoning anything, but I do think that it was distasteful of Ben to say, I hope all those people, lose their lives. Well, it's not good for anybody to lose their life, I mean, I understand maybe where he's coming from. Then again, I just don't think it's right to do it either way.
When I was a kid, 5 years old, all I wanted was peace and love, and I just don't think there's any excuse to murder and kill people. Unless they are the most egregious mother effers like child murderers and pedophilias that get the death penalty, I just don't think, and they've already pledged they're going to catch this guy and they're going to execute him fast. Have you seen that? The FBI and or I think Kash Patel came out and said we're going to get him, and there's not going to be waiting. He's going to get the death penalty, and it's going to be a public statement for sure. I think.
Wow.
You haven't seen that?
No, I did
Oh,
not.
I've got that video
Reminding
too.
of the two Democratic, that man and that woman. We didn't really hear a whole lot about that, did we?
About what?
No.
Oh, the politics. No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
Yeah, that were unalived at their home. Two separate homes,
Yeah.
two separate Democrats gone. What
Yeah.
what they do? What they say? What kind of hate crime? Who blamed that on who? You see what I'm saying? It's just
Right.
this has been going on for so many decades now, and the majority of the population is going to be spoon fed, and they're going to believe it.
Well,
And
listen,
that's what hurts my heart for people like Charlie that could have a change of mind and go, you know what, my donors, those are the ones that would have taken his life, feed money into him, and he's going against them. No, all they got to do is do some kind of MK Ultra, get a student or some kind of wacko, and just infiltrate their minds and get them to do all kinds of crazy things. But
and it's always disenfranchised people that do it. It's always.
It really does. Yeah, it does. It definitely exists. But we can't talk about that. We have to blame it on some type of hate fascism. We got to blame it. We got to have a patsy, and we got to think about that for years, and then 50 years later, we're going to find out the truth. It's just it's such a pattern. It's disgusting. And it hurts my heart because humanity we are so strong in numbers, but they got the minds. They got the power of the kingdom, and the kingdom is your mind.
Well, this is why I think energetically this is like a call for all our spiritual warriors out there to rise up, man, and start really being the light, because we got to combat this shit, man. We got to combat this doom and gloom and propaganda and, you know, the media and the lies and the hate. Like, it's got to end. It's, you know, if we really want to jump down a rabbit hole, because I'm writing a book on underground lost civilizations. I mean, you look at Atlantis and all those civilizations, you know, they died because of war and political beliefs, and they killed each other, or famine. And so it was either environmental or political wars. You know, these are civilizations that if we really want to deep dive, I'm writing about it, that did exist, and now they're gone. And it's the same fucking thing 2,500 years later. You know, we're on planet Earth. It's the same thing. It's the same effing cycle of hatred that we're going to kill each other, where there's going to be nothing left if we don't stop. Like, where does it end? It's crazy. Just crazy. I mean, that's a little bit of a different wormhole, but it's just wild. Anyways, let's watch.
I had a stepson pass away with leukemia after a jab. I had a stepdaughter pass away after a jab, and she got anaphylactic shock. And we don't think that that's not changing our hormones. We don't think that that's not doing something to us, but we still allow the establishment to dictate everything that we are slaves.
Mm-hmm.
And we think we're free.
Mm-hmm.
They have got us so duped and dumbed down. I wrote a 400 thesis. Basically, I have to call it a thesis. I can't really call it a book just yet. In 2017, going over everything that I'd learned, everything that I'd researched, and exactly what they are planning. And we are going in the exact pace, everything. Epigenetics is real. They do not want us to procreate. They want to minimize the population. This is a known fact. Look at Bill Gates. Thank you. Look at Bill Gates. Look at the big pharma. We have to start really getting into that rabbit hole, wearing that tinfoil hat proudly, and calling out this establishment that is right, left, and in the center. They all have a big pocketbook. They get richer, we get poor. They get healthier, we get sicker. It's us against them. And until we really realize that, it's us against them.
Yeah, I know.
There are sides, and it's us against them, no matter
Well,
what party.
And that's what I wish I could get through to the trans people that are completely brainwashed. You know, it's like, anyway. I think a lot of the kids are being brainwashed in schools too. I mean, listen, our government in Canada, you're not even going to believe this shit. My daughter, the nurse,
Well, Joe, unfortunately, Joe, my experience hasn't been so great. And so I'm glad that you've had great experiences. You must be blessed, and I'm not. I don't know. But I can definitely say that you have plenty of time to develop anything. So that's that. Yeah, go back to Dr. Mary's monkey. I mean, Dr. Mary's monkey, and I'm sure a lot of people don't know that story either, but it's a real thing. Dr. Mary's monkey is going back to the Oswald. It's going back to Kennedy. It is going back to the cancer.
Holly, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Look at the rise in autism. Look at the rise in autism as well.
I mean, good God, man. The pattern is there. Don't be duped. Don't be duped. We all have different experiences with these jabs. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. And there's a lot of people that are not as fortunate, unfortunately, sadly. It's their fate, right? It was Josh's fate. It was Skylar's fate. But I still had to witness it. And when you watch a child literally lose their life, and you watch multiple children that you love lose their life because of goofy ass people that think that the government is for us, that the administration, that the big pharma is for us, yeah, you got a different perspective, and it changes your mind. And I think that that's exactly what was going on with Charlie when he lost his life.
Listen, there's not a one powerful entity that's there to protect the little guy. Not fucking one in the world. Sorry, just that's my belief. Like,
They make way too much off of the treatments. They make way too much off of treatments than they do to make, if they cure it, then nobody's going for, thousands and thousands of dollars worth of treatments.
Yeah. Can anybody look? I'm going to play this. Can anybody look for the update while I play this? Because I have been looking for the update, and then we can play that, and then we can see where we're at.
Hateful and frankly deranged and dangerous that even MSNBC had to take some action, and they've sacked Matthew Dowd, but it's MSNBC. He may be back before the end of the month. And the asinine commentary wasn't restricted to commentators on MSNBC. Governors joined in. Here is the rotund governor of crime-riddled Illinois, blaming President Trump, the man Charlie Kirk worked tirelessly to re-elect. Governor Pritzker blames Donald Trump for fomenting political violence.
Political violence, unfortunately, has been ratcheting up in this country. We saw the shootings, the killings in Minnesota. We've seen other political violence occur in other states. And I would just say it's got to stop. And I think there are people who are fomenting it in this country. I think the president's rhetoric often foments it.
Did that nincompoop really mention the Minnesota shooter, the trans-identified lunatic who shot children in a Catholic school and wanted to kill Donald Trump? Yeah, it's Trump who was almost killed by an assassin's bullet who is to blame for leftist violence, not these lefties losing it.
He insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Punch some people in the face.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Look, as his character is stabbed to death. Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him?
That's
I have
wild.
thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
President Donald Trump has called the murder of Charlie Kirk a dark moment for America.
To my great fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight, all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. His mission was to bring young people into the political process, which he did better than anybody ever, to share his love of country and to spread the simple words of common sense. On campuses nationwide, he championed his ideas with courage, logic, humor, and grace.
And the president noted the spate of deadly political violence from the left. He called such acts, including the assassination of Charlie Kirk, as acts of domestic terrorism.
It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis. From the attack on my life in Butler, Pennsylvania last year, which killed a husband and father, to the attacks on ICE agents, to the vicious murder of a healthcare executive in the streets of New York, to the shooting of House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and 3 others, radical left political violence has hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives. Charlie was the best of America, and the monster who attacked him was attacking our whole country. An assassin tried to silence him with a bullet, but he failed, because together we will ensure that his voice, his message, and his legacy will live on for countless generations to come.
Let's bring in documentary filmmaker and commentator Ami Horowitz. Ami, this is a dark day for America. I don't think those celebrating Charlie Kirk's assassination, and I've seen, sadly, a lot of that on social media, I don't think those people understand what they have unleashed. The anger, the sadness over this assassination is profound.
Yeah, I think you're right. And before I spit fire, and believe me that I will,
Let me take a step back and talk about Charlie for a moment and just some personal anecdotes. I considered him a friend. Even though we were a generation apart, he was somebody that if I had a question or some advice, I'd call him and reach out to him. He's so generous with his time. The first time I met him, God, it was well over 10 years ago, maybe 13, 14 years ago. He was a teenager. He was just starting Turning Point. I think we met at a PragerU conference in California. And somebody introduced the two of us. So this is a guy you should know. His name is Charlie Kirk. He's a comer. And Charlie had been fundraising for Turning Point USA, right? It was the beginning of this organization. And in our conversation, he was talking about the people he's raising money from while he was there. And for anyone who knows who raises money, who has investors, you keep those things close to your vest, right? That's the lifeblood, the money that keeps and creates the organization you're creating. And he mentioned one of these billionaires that he raised some money from. And I just mentioned, just casually, that's a great guy to get money from. I've been trying to reach him for years. Not even asking for a favor. And he immediately said, here's the guy's cell phone number. Give him a call. I'm sure he's happy to help. Okay, that was the kind of guy.
Okay, I found the update, so I'm going to play that. We can come back here if we want, but
Leanne, I did find those pictures, like a closer up view of what.
Did
who
you?
they think? Yeah, like who they think might have been the shooter.
Okay.
But did he change his shirt? I wonder, because in one it looks like he's wearing an American flag.
I
shirt.
know. Yeah.
You know, I don't know if this is the right person, but then there are pictures of him like looking more girlish. We'll just say that, and I'm not trying to offend anybody by saying that. I'm just saying what I'm looking at. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree with this too, Jen. Yeah. No, don't worry about. No, I'm not. Don't worry about offending. Hopefully, not anybody in here. But yeah, this is. Let's just see. They're getting ready to come up to their. So we can just keep chatting if you want.
Oh, cool.
Supposed to start any minute. This is the press. There we go.
Did that work, Steve?
Oh.
But definitely a similar build, you know, like Deborah's saying.
Yeah.
4,
here
5,
they go.
6.
Oh, they're checking mics.
1.
Yeah. Keep talking, my dear.
So yeah, that's interesting, right? Because it looks like an eagle shirt, and the other one looks like a different graphic.
Yeah, unless there was more than one. I hope they've caught this person.
1, 2, 3. 1.
I sure hope so too. I sure hope so too.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I agree. It sure is. But this is why we all agreed to be here, regrettably, in my opinion. At this time in the world is to help overcome all this evil.
Mic check, mic check, mic check. 1, 2, 3.
Joe just told me there's not a chance in hell Cash will get back to me. I just told Joe I'm mad at Cash for not getting back to me. I just don't want to talk about it. That's a sore subject, Joe. That's a sore subject. Okay, I'm mad at him.
Thank you, Deborah.
I did direct message him though about Sebastian.
9, 10.
That's awesome. Jen, are you still eating?
Yeah.
3,
4,
5, 6, 7, 8.
Aw, thank you, Deborah. She says we're amazing.
I know.
That's sweet.
No,
No, I'm having a blast talking with you guys, just shooting the shit about this because look, we're all kind of like looking at it in different ways, and I love that. I think that's so important for us to all talk about it and get the different perspectives out there. And a lot of people have strong feelings in the chat.
I agree. I love when you guys are on with me. I think it's great. I think we should do it often.
Yeah, I love it. I think that it's really about, it's about our experiences. It's about the wisdom that we've gained and the patterns that we've noticed. And I think that it's okay if we can, anybody can disagree with me. Just don't tell me that I don't feel the way that I feel.
Exactly. Well,
right. I didn't come here scared. I'm not going to leave scared. I lost my Facebook. I had a group. I was giving my book. I was putting my book on there. I was talking about the things that I'd experienced with the jabs, and it was taken down. I was taken down because I was going against the establishment. It was it was data. That data got me. Big brother got me.
It goes it goes all the way down into jobs and corporate institutions, like that whole don't speak against, like, the powers that be narrative. It's ingrained everywhere. Don't talk back to your elders. Don't talk back to your teachers. Don't go against the school policies. Don't speak against your boss. Don't go against work policies. Like, it's ingrained everywhere. Every fucking where.
I'm an investigative, forensic type of astrologer. I'm going to ruffle feathers. People, I am not for everybody. I'm really for a very small majority. But those small majority, that's my tribe. I'm not a popular person. And I don't.
Well, and Jen, I think of it like this, how many teachers are out there doing this to these kids? And, the kids are afraid to speak up because they're afraid to go against authority. And I think it's okay to do it respectfully. And it's okay to teach kids, hey, if you absolutely know something's wrong and you get that weird feeling, then you go with that feeling and we'll figure it out later, right?
It's so bad. I mean, my kids were being abused with their stepmother's son, and they denied it for years until I got a call from CAS. That's the programming that kids have, that they can't speak out against an adult. Like, it's anyway. I think we've all grown up with the narrative that we're just small, insignificant Kiwis in the grand scheme of things, and just toe the line. Whether it's directly in your face or indirectly, we've all gotten the message. And this is about the common people, we the people versus the evil fucking power mongers in the world. That's my position. It's we the people versus the fucking people that run the world that have control and dominance,
Right. And the puppets, the faces that we see, they are not our true leaders. It's you have to get into the money. You got to get into the money. You got to follow the money. Once you follow the money, then you're going to get just a glance at
you guys
really running our country, and you don't even know who the hell they are. Now
do you want to hear what's going on in Canada about transgender conversations? And my daughter, being the nurse, and I love her, she's just brainwashed, believes in the best of it. In Canada, they're trying to pass it where it's the teachers that are going to have the conversations and keep it secret from the fucking parents. It's already going on when their child wants to have a gender sex because the parents are not supportive. So the government in Canada is giving the power to the schools, to taking away the power from the teachers to have conversations with kids in school about their future gender. What the fuck is that?
When y'all
is criminal. That's criminal.
When y'all were growing up, was there a lot of kids that you knew that was autistic?
Not very many, no.
Was
not
there a
like
bunch
today.
Of kids that you knew was there a bunch of kids that was gay?
It's in the food. It's in everything.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, we should understand that there's a pattern here, and they are fucking with us on a major level, and we're trapped. They trap us because you know what? You got to go to work.
Yeah.
You and your husband, y'all have the mommy and daddy. Y'all got to go to work. Yep. You need to be at work at 7, at 8 o'clock. School needs to start at 8 so you can go and be a good, productive citizen and pay taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And
I have
Jen, speaking of that kind of stuff, like they used to think that,
this started a long time ago. They didn't want us divining. They didn't want us to be close to God. They wanted us to go to work, build the Solomon's temple, and where the rich could get richer and the poor could get poor, and they could keep us sick, dumbed down, confused, distracted, and at each other's throats. It's still it's still going on today. It's just the craziest thing.
Mm-hmm.
And our kids are suffering. Our kids are suffering. And that's that's the reason I have to keep my mind busy every day and do astrology, because if I really were to allow myself to feel the emotions that I feel truly for our children, I would be gone too, because they're going to take me out.
Yeah, but this is what's going on. Yeah, I think so too, Kitty. But this is what's going on in Canada. And my daughter, being the nurse, pediatric nurse, and I love her, again, it's just a brainwashing. And she sees it. She says a lot of kids come into the hospital suicidal because they want to have a sex change, and their parents don't support it. Well, I'm sorry. Until they're an adult, they shouldn't be even having the conversation. They're not old enough to fucking know. Your brain's not even fully developed until you're 25. How can you be making a sex change discussion and having those conversations when you're 6 fucking years old with your teachers? And that's
I'm in
the
my
age
30s.
it's starting at.
Precisely.
I'm in my 30s when I have a fucking boob job. Do I wish that I had not done that? You damn right. I wish that I still have my beautiful boobs, not these big old melons.
But no, I mean, well, and going back to it, look at what they used to do to people who were on the spectrum, who had Down syndrome, all of that. I mean, there's still doctors out there that recommend not going through with the pregnancy. You know, they used to hide people away in asylums that had special needs.
No, I know. I know.
Look at what the government did there. You know, that's why we didn't see it as much too. I think that has a big thing to do with, big part in it is that, now we have people out in the community more, not to say that there isn't more disease out there.
You're right, Holly. People do want to be told what to do. I totally agree with you, Holly.
Yeah, but I just don't think the government has any right telling the parents that they don't have a right to have the conversation with their kids about transgender decisions when they're at that age, and that they're going to leave the school up to it is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. Well, Jen, I promise you research it. It's happening in Canada, and my daughter is, and I discussed it. It's happening in Canada, and the medical system has been brainwashed to follow the government because it's better for their health. I'm sorry.
I'm all about the Amish life now. Yeah, I'm all about the Amish life.
Yeah. Yeah. What? What is going on?
I mean, I could get these boobs removed, but now I got to have another surgery. I got, dang. I'm ready for them to be done. I'm over it.
See, and I had to get.
We can't be allowing stuff like that. And the reason why are these kids at such a young age? And this is what I want to get into the root of the causation. There is a causation here, and we have to be strong enough to come together and say no more. Y'all are not injecting anything into my kid no more. And you know what? One of the things that really irked me too about school when my kids were going to school was that I had to have an excuse to get my kids. They're my fucking kids. If I want them out of this school, I don't have to give you a reason. I don't like that.
Yeah.
They can just take my kids and do something with them because they don't like what I'm doing or what I'm saying. They're going to have this, agenda against me. Okay, if I'm doing something harmful to my kids, I can see it. But yeah, they have way too much. They have way too much control.
But then on the other flip side, we've got kids whose parents don't protect them, and they don't have systems to protect them from their own parents. So it's like the priorities are so fucked up. Like, meanwhile, there's parents that are abusing their kids like heroes and out on jail. Like, where the government wants to put their hands in people's lives is just so ass backwards. Like,
yeah,
right.
It's just
no big government, right? No big government.
Yeah, we the people. It's there, and maybe that's what they want to push us toward, to our own freedom and our own liberation. This is about. Gosh, doesn't that sound like Uranus? Oh shit, aren't we in the age of Aquarius? You're damn right. It's about us. It's about us. It's about us taking back our sovereignty. It's about us taking back our freedom to live freely as a spiritual being on this earth without them having to be all up in our business.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
No, me neither.
I get it. I'm so different than a lot of people.
Well, no, I am like you. I want to live like my own homestead. I want to have like less reliance on government, make my own fucking food. Like I'm just done. Look at them.
We're enslaved. We're still in Egypt. We're still bound.
Yep.
By the Seven Sisters. We are still bound. Nothing has changed. I think that I definitely think 18.
I think
But
they have to be legally. Yeah. I mean, if they can't vote, they certainly can't decide. I don't know. I think an adult, but hey, 16, 18. But Joe, in Canada, these kids are having the discussions because my daughter again is a pediatric nurse at 6 years old. And that is not old enough to make that kind of decision.
See, and I still think 14, 16, I think all of that's too
Yeah.
young just because did you guys ever watch Jazz? She's a girl. Her mother was like on board, so was the dad. She had multiple surgeries to turn her from a boy to a girl, and she severely regrets it. I just think that those kids really need to also watch the videos where they have the gender reassignment and then they regret it. If they're watching the ones that are happy with it, they need to watch the ones that are unhappy with it, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, this is it, because there are people that are coming out saying they're regretting it. And there's not enough, we don't know enough about it yet to really be able to advocate. It's just like the COVID vaccine. They pushed it and pushed it and pushed it, and then they're coming out going, oops, we didn't really know as much as we know now. Well, it's the
And
same
ladies, she was
concept.
mutilated, or he, to be respectful to her, she wants to be a girl. She was mutilated down under, you know? That is so sad, and you can't reverse it.
No.
You know?
I know.
So I wish
I
they would
know.
at least, not let anybody do that until they're of age to change over.
Actually,
To fully
Joe,
understand it.
our freedom, our liberation is going to be when the sun delivers such a massive, powerful ejection. And when it does, and all of this that we are talking on, the radio waves get inundated that by the force of nature, that's when we'll all drop to our knees in freedom, liberation from the technocracy, from the technology, because it's trapped us. We're in a web, and the spider has its prey, and the prey is us. www.
Yeah.
What's that? That's the symbol. That's the symbol for Aquarius. And I'm sorry, I'm an astrologer, so I think in that term or in that context.
Well, these guys were really worried about checking their mic, considering they're nowhere near ready to deliver a public statement.
They're doing something. They're not talking.
Let's go, folks. I mean, they're always behind in these things, right? The world can freaking wait. We don't care.
I know, they know we're sitting here watching like a hawk waiting for them to start it up again.
Well, I think the parents should be involved in the discussion. It's just the fact that the parents aren't even allowed, that the government in Canada is trying to take the parents out of the equation, is the most disgusting thing I've ever heard in my life. It should be illegal. I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. and it's based on the whole notion that parents won't support it. And I get that, but how does excluding them change that? How does excluding them, instead of bringing them into the conversation with counseling and therapy to help the parents cope better with the child in the room, is a far better outcome for everybody involved, in my opinion, than just keeping the parents out of the conversation. That is unforgivable. I'd lose my shit if that happened to me. I would lose my shit.
Oh, I would be beyond mad. I would be beyond mad. I really would, because I would never want something like that for my child. I just want good things for my, my daughter. So I'd never want anything, we're past that point now. She's a full adult, can do whatever she wants, but oh yeah, I would fight tooth and nail to make sure that she set herself up for success, not failure. You know what I mean? And that's just where it is. But yes, if they're having those feelings, don't ignore them or make them feel like they're nothing. Diane listed off a bunch of things, that come along with those surgeries and that. But I think it's so important to be confident in yourself, to love yourself for who you are, rather than changing, because your outward appearance doesn't matter as much as the inside. It just doesn't. And anybody will tell you that, so whoever you're trying to impress, learn to love yourself for who you are first, and then figure
All right,
the
guys,
rest
here we
out.
go.
Oh,
Thanks, Donna.
oh, never mind.
I think we'll listen to this and then call it soon, ladies, unless you want to keep going. It's totally up to you. I'm good to keep going for a little bit. I have an interview tomorrow for a seasonal job, which I'll happily take. So I don't.
Ooh, cool.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
drop down, guys. I'm gonna drop
but
down and go spend a minute with Jeff before he goes night night.
are you gonna watch this first, or are you leaving now?
Oh yeah, I'll watch this first.
Okay. Well, then I'll probably be off too, if that's good for you,
Okay, honey.
Lady
Yeah,
Freedom.
because I have a live
Okay.
for 11:30, so I
Okay.
mean, we're good. We're still
Okay.
good though.
Okay. I don't know how you
Okay.
do those late nights. I'm like asleep by then.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny because I do, I'm more of a night person. I'm more oriented at night, but I'm becoming
Oh,
a little bit,
oh God.
well, because I'm trying to do day shows too. So,
Okay. Thanks, Rogue. Yeah, and that's the question they emailed me. So they sent me an email when I had my little fit yesterday. You're not going to get the job, but we are going to hire seasonally. And then my daughter shows up with extra resumes for me because I've been handing out hard copy resumes. And as she's here, I get this email. Hey, what's your availability for seasonal? So it's only till January, but you never know, right? But they want to know if I would work overnight. I'm like, fuck me, no. Okay, I'll agree. I need a job, but overnight's gonna kill me if I have to do overnight. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I'll figure that out later.
oh, I'll check it now. No, that's good though for extra Christmas money and all that. That is a good idea.
Well, yeah. Well, I'll take what I can get. It's just this is how bad the economy is in Canada. It's never been worse. Unemployment's never been worse. So I'll take it, even if it's seasonal at a bookstore. It can't be that hard at a bookstore.
So perfectly imperfect boy mom, whatever you're sending to Lady Freedom about Sumner County and Charlie Kirk, please send that to me because I go back with the DOJ to per the astrology on September 4th. And that's the same day that Joe Clinton and the ex or the past DA Whitley was in transit with the fate. So I would be interested to know what you're sending. Lady Freedom, just let us know that could be alive on its own.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll forward it if it's okay.
Yeah.
I'll just forward it.
Yeah, definitely not ready for
Because
Christmas.
I got it though. It's very interesting.
Hell no. Still enjoying summer, Rogue.
I still got my garden going on. I'm really not ready.
I need to get to the storage and pull out all my fall stuff. I better do it now or never, is what I'm thinking.
It's crazy that we have Christmas, but that's not even the Christ birthday. Isn't that crazy? It's right there with Saturnalia week with Saturn. No
Hell no,
Yeah.
Rogue. I'm not ready for Christmas
for
yet.
another
Are you
video.
crazy, girl? I'm barely getting fall out.
That's yeah.
September.
I'm gonna go to the beach sometime this weekend with one of my grandkids, probably next door behind me. Oh, here they come! Here they come! Oh my
Finally,
God!
they grace us with their presents. No, I'm just kidding.
What do you think? Do you think they caught the guy? I think they caught the guy.
You think so? I don't know. What do you think,
Yeah.
Jen? You think they caught him?
Yeah. Every live I've done lately with
They're all
Jen.
here. The gang's all here.
Yeah, I think they caught him.
I mean, they're about to blow smoke up each other's asses. Here we go.
Look at this lineup.
Exactly.
This evening, we have
What the-
FBI Director Patel, FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino, Special Agent in Charge Robert Bowles, Governor Spencer Cox, Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson, and Commissioner Anderson, as well as Commissioner Bo Mason, as well as some local partners here present with us today. Governor will kick it off.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here tonight. We appreciate the media and the partnership we have with you in helping us to get information out to the public so that we can catch this assassin and hold him accountable. We are going to share a portion of a video, and that we have of the suspect, as well as some new stills. Those have already been released, but we want to make sure that they get as much attention as possible so that we can get help from the public in tracking down this evil human being. So we're going to cue up the video right now, show that. I've asked Commissioner Bo Mason if he would narrate to you what is happening in this video.
Thank you, Governor. Bo Mason, Commissioner for the Utah Department of Public Safety. If you look up to the top left, you'll see the building where the shooter was proned out in the top left corner. We'll go ahead and play that video, and I'll narrate as we walk through that. So here you see the suspect ran behind that upper building. He's going to come out on the right, moves to this far right corner.
It's as loud as possible, Krista. It's on their end. Can't do anything.
And then drop down to the ground. As he did that, he left some palm impressions. There's some smudges, some places we're looking to collect DNA. There's a shoe imprint where we believe the suspect is clearly identified as wearing Converse tennis shoes. Again, we'll replay that again so you can get another view of that. It's important to note his black t-shirt, his black pants, and there appears to be some white on the soles of those Converse tennis shoes. Those are all identifiable items that we're looking for. In the stills that are going to follow this, you're going to see a very distinctive t-shirt with an American flag and appears to have an eagle on it. There's also a baseball cap with a triangle on it and a pair of sunglasses. All distinctive, all things that we would ask the public to look for and try to identify if they know someone who has those items, who has been seen wearing those items. Here you see the suspect after dropping off the building. He moved around across this grassy area, around the parking lot. We're going to pan to the right. After he crosses the street, this is where he moves over into the wooded area. This is the video evidence that we utilize to track his movements and to locate that firearm in that wooded area following the discovery of this evidence. Good. You want to go to the stills? So here's the still photographs I mentioned. These have been enhanced. So these are slightly different than what we introduced earlier. Please pay close attention to the t-shirt. Like I said, very distinctive with that American flag and that eagle.
Well, I'm sure he's changed it by now, dude.
You'll go to the next picture, please. The backpack as well. All identifying features that we're hoping the public can help us identify and lead us to this suspect. Next picture. And again, there's a better picture of the hat with that triangle logo. And again, out, and we just asked for the public's cooperation through the public. The tips that have been coming in are what are giving us our next leads and enabling us to continue to further this investigation. We've had great cooperation from the public, and we're continuing to ask for that as we move forward. Thank you, and I'll turn the time back over to Governor Cox.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Mason. I want to thank Director Patel and his team. It's great to have them on the ground with us tonight. We've had several briefings, and he's had an opportunity to walk the crime scene. We appreciate our local law enforcement here. Again, we have Mike Smith, who is the county sheriff here. We have all of our local chiefs of police that are here as well, all working hand in hand with the state and with the FBI as we move forward with this investigation. Now, I'll just give you a little warning. We will not be taking any questions at this time. We're giving you the latest information we have, being as transparent with everything that we have. But I do want to share a couple things that I think are important. we can't parent with everything that we have, but I do want to share a couple things that I think are important. We cannot do our job without the public's help right now. The public has answered our call for action. So far, we've received more than 7,000 leads and tips. I would just note that the FBI hasn't received this many digital media tips from the public since the Boston Marathon bombing. This case also highlights the dedication of our law enforcement community. We have 20 federal, state, and local law enforcement partners that are working shoulder to shoulder to find the person who committed this horrific crime. With their support, we've completed nearly 200 interviews. As you're aware, as has already been reported, the FBI is offering a $100,000 reward for information leading to the identification and arrest of the person responsible for the murder of Charlie Kirk. We also continue to implore the public to support this investigation and come forward with any information. We are truly hopeful that this video and new photos will lead to even more tips. We are processing. We have an incredible team, a state and federal team working together to process those tips. We are going out in tandem to interview any potential person of interest or suspects. But we need, again, we need as much help as we can possibly get. Any videos or photos that you might have, the public, should be submitted to our digital media tip line, which is www.fbi.gov/Utah Valley shooting, all lowercase. Again, that is fbi.gov/Utah Valley shooting, all lowercase. You can also provide general tips about the shooting by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI. That's 1-800-CALL-FBI, or at tips.fbi.gov. This is, I would just say, this is not just a local matter here in Utah. We have people all over the country that are helping to bring this perpetrator to justice for Charlie Kirk and his family. I will just add as well that, as was mentioned, there is a lot of forensic evidence that is being processed right now at both the state lab and the federal labs, federal lab on the East Coast. So we are working in tandem together. I would also just add a word of note for those people who are spending so much time on social media. I think Charlie said it best, that when things get bad, we should put our phones down and spend a little time with our families. There is a tremendous amount of disinformation. We are tracking our team, the state.
There we go.
And I'm sure the federal team as well. What we're seeing is our adversaries want violence. China, we have bots from Russia, China, all over the world that are trying to instill disinformation and encourage violence. I would encourage you to ignore those, to turn off those streams, and to spend a little more time with our families. We desperately need some healing. We'll have more to say about that in the days and weeks to come. More than anything, we are going to catch this person. Last thing I will just say is we've been working with our attorneys, getting everything that we need, affidavits ready, so that we can pursue the death penalty in this case, and that will happen here in the state of Utah. Again, to the public, to those who are grieving, thank you for your prayers. I know we are feeling those prayers. I know the Kirk family is feeling those prayers as well. We pray that God will bless our nation at this very dark time. We can start healing by finding this perpetrator and holding him accountable, and we need your help to do that. Thank you.
Seriously? That's it? That's it?
Oh, girl, we got to do a map.
All those people.
Got to do a map. Got to talk about the map, and that way we can see who's who. Because the map ain't gonna lie. We can look for fugitives too.
Well, do you have it? Because I cannot fucking believe that they lined up all those people just to show us a video we've already fucking seen. What the fuck?
No doubt. Deborah says that's it.
That's like, what the fuck is that? And I wanted to say, no wonder. Well, and no wonder why you got more people. You posted $100,000 fucking reward. They posted $100,000 reward for them. So of course they've got more people sending them tips than ever before.
Yeah, no kidding. The money, follow the money, honey. What did Jen say earlier?
Did you guys hear that? That there was a reward posted?
A young person's a sniper. We know that it's a young person that's a sniper, and now we're going to be told that it's going to be a trans person. Look, I'm about to map them. I'm about to map them. I'm going to map some of these leaders' houses too.
I'm going to show
because I've got the time that it shot. Hell, I saw it. I saw it before it came. I mean, I want us to really realize that, you know, astrology is a great tool.
Yeah.
It's a great tool.
believe you.
I didn't even know that this was going to happen, but I knew it was going to be an intense moment for certain players, and that's what I'm going to show in the morning. I'm going to show all of it. I'm going to duel it out. I'm going to be talking numbers and astrology, and it goes over a lot of people's heads. But you know, this is what it's all about for me: is investigating. I'm going to map it. Hell, I'll probably be doing that tonight before I go to bed, and as soon as I wake up, I'm going to be mapping it. That way, I can show it tomorrow.
Yes, Jen, that would be great.
I'll link it to you. I'll link it to you.
Yeah,
I just want to
and
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, what I was just gonna say was Autumn Melody said yes. 100K heard that.
Yeah, it's wild. I just want to play this because this is a sniper's take. I watched this guy. He didn't say anything political at all, but I watched him with the Trump attempt, and I watched a lot of sniper experts, and I just want to show you this because this outrages me. How this guy got there, and they didn't fucking notice him. Like, his detail needs to be looked at. I cannot, like you were just saying, when he was running away, how did they not see him jumping over the fucking, where was the security? And the guy's running away. Where were the cops on ground? What the fuck?
I got so excited. I'm over there. I'm pushing the wrong button. I'm so excited. I'm like, what is this?
Y'all, there's literally a video of the shooter on top of the building.
That we're gonna watch it. I know.
Yeah, there is a shooter on top of the building. So I know exactly where to map this shooter from.
Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna get started on the map, y'all.
This is my last video. It's 11 minutes, and then I'm gonna go too.
Okay, I'll watch it.
Thanks. Okay.
Okay.
You know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years? Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
The shooting and assassination of Christian apologist Charlie Kirk is sure to stir up controversy. So today we want to take a look at the scene that happened and unfolded today and try to determine where the shooter was. Well, anyway, normally we cover engineering disasters and other failures like that here. But again, this is another one of those things that involves forensics. And last year I did a number of videos on the Trump assassination attempt. So I want to take a look at some of the scenarios that happened here today and see what information we can glean out of this and try to determine where the shooter was located. And so the university is right here. So I'm going to zoom into the exact spot and it happened right here in this plaza. So this is the UVU courtyard.
Leanne,
everything was going on right in here. In fact, there was like thousands of people everywhere. There's people all over these staircases, all over the lawns here.
Who is his channel name? Sorry, honey. It's Jeff Ostroff. Yeah. He does a lot of like.
Yeah, I'm going to link him here.
Okay.
Well, I can't. I don't think I can. You would have to.
Yeah, I'll link it right now. I'll link it. Yeah, I wanted to.
Phenomenal video. I'm so glad that you're playing this.
Yeah, I have way more. I have 20 more videos lined up because I'm just like, we're just going to go with the flow. We're not going to watch them all tonight.
Yeah,
but
my mom sent this one to me this morning, and I think that it's one of the best videos to see where he was actually at.
Well, and how they didn't see him is another. Like, did y'all see the video of the kids walking up to it before the event, going, "Is that a guy on the roof?"
Yeah,
I
saw that too. Yeah,
like what the fuck? How did the police not? This reminds me of Pennsylvania, where it was such a breach of proper due diligence with where to have this and how to get proper security. To me, it seems so beyond negligent. I can't understand how this was not part of an inside job.
Or the people that they had in place allowed this to happen.
Well, this is it. It's an inside. It had to be an inside job.
Yeah,
an inside job for sure. There's no way.
Charlie's tent was right here. And so what we're going to do today is just focus on this general area right in here. This video clip that I'm about to show you was captured by two witnesses who probably a few minutes before the shooting, we don't know exactly when, but it shows what we think might be the shooter.
Get right up.
Yeah. You think he'd already been placed?
You would think that.
Look at
So there's somebody
that.
on the roof right there. Just saying. He just ran from over, where's my finger? Well, from over there, ran in. Now he's right there. Just saying. Just
Okay, so if you look at the campus here, and I'm going to set our street view right here. So I think they were here on the campus drive, and I believe the guys were probably in this parking lot or walking along this sidewalk going this way. Now, if you zoom in here, there's the green box that shows up in their video. And I believe they were looking down this sidewalk past the Sparks Automotive building here and over to the Losey building, which I believe the guy was right here that they saw prone, lying down right over here. So if you come back over here to the bird's eye view, here is where I think that they were walking down this way, down this sidewalk, and they were probably right around here, because there's your green maintenance box, or that might even be an air conditioner, we don't know. They were pointing this way. There's your Sparks Automotive building, the sign that you saw in the beginning of it, and then here is your Losey Center. And so I believe they were showing the person prone out right here on this spot on the third level. And then let me back it out a little here for you. So this is where they were showing the person who's either here or here. It's on one of these two levels. And then Charlie's tent was set up right here. So all the crowd was pretty much gathered in this area. And then there was people up on the top around all these different areas here overlooking it. Now, it's interesting that some of the views that I saw from potentially over here, people turned their heads to the right when they heard the shots. So that pretty much lends it to being from right here. Okay, so Charlie was sitting in his tent right here, marked by this yellow box, and it was facing this way, and he was pretty much situated almost in line with this sidewalk, I would say, right here like this. And so the shooter, from what we can tell from the videos, if it is the shooter, would have been sitting right up here in this corner part of the roof and easily had a line of sight right down to Charlie's neck. And certainly when we saw the video of the shooting there, as you can see, people who were standing back in here in this area, they looked to the right. You're in this area where shots are going to be reverberating all over the place, and it may be hard for people to tell where it came from, but most people seem to turn their heads to the right this way. Okay, now let me show you the video that probably shows the shooter after the fact. And here you can see the shot has just taken place, and the audience is ducking for cover, and they're getting ready to flee. And so this was taken from just behind Charlie's tent. His tent is right here. So this is upstairs on the second floor in the building right behind him and above his head. But let me take you back to the beginning of it, because maybe you didn't notice this, because it's going to show what I believe is likely to be the shooter. So when it pans over here, watch this roof right over here in the background. That's that building. So remember, the video was shot from in here, right above Charlie's head. Charlie was right here. And then this is the building right here. See the Losey Center. So the person was right here, and it looks like he might have been running around over here where we lose sight of him. Okay, so right here in this frame from the video taken on the second floor right above Charlie's head, there's what's most likely the shooter right there. And you're going to watch him going this way, and he'll disappear behind this part of the roof. So watch as we pan over. He's moving now. He's getting closer and closer to that. And as we pan over, you're going to see him get closer and closer to the left. And he's going to hide right behind that thing there. So he's probably running to his access point, to however he got up on that roof. And then there's the crowd dispersing there. And here I slowed it down 5x for you and zoomed in so you can get a little bit clearer view of him running on the roof. And there's the best we can see from this view, but I'm sure there's got to be some security cameras that might have captured him. Now I want to show you this Life is Driving channel here on YouTube, and this is Adam Bartholomew. I believe that's how you pronounce him. And he had shot some video there. He was doing a live stream, and I'm going to show you some of what he's done here, where he's captured the building in the background. And you're going to catch a glimpse of the Losey building right there. See, this is at the LC. So I would think that the shooter was probably either here or up here. There is a way to get up to this level easily from this ladder. You could climb this ladder and then be right here, but it might be a little bit too visible from people who might be in these windows, so I can't really tell the architecture of whether they could see or not. But let's follow it around here a little bit as he moves, and you're going to see he's going to get a little bit better view of the building. He's walking around to go try to find protesters, and so he's backing away from the scene where the crowd is waiting for Charlie to come out. And so right here is where you get a much better view of what's going on. So if the shooter was going to be up here on this part of the roof, it looks like they can get access to it from way over here. This was his likely point of access, was coming up here and running across the roof, kind of like Thomas Crooks did before he shot President Trump. My money says the guy was on one of these two spots here. And I'll put a link to this video down below. Now watch here, because he was interviewing these guys when the shots rang out. And the building that the shooter would have been from is behind this building, down the sidewalk.
Sir, are they like restricting you guys up here or what?
No, it's too crowded. It's just, there's just so much. Before we had a flag and we had it, so it's positioned above the tent, so it'd be in the camera. And we just moved.
What's that? He just got shot! Holy
Okay, so the building is back around over here, off to the left.
There's been a shooting. There's been a shooting. We heard shots. We heard shots.
So the building is back here behind these trees.
My son is down there. He says that Charlie Kirk has been shot in the neck. We have multiple eyewitnesses saying that Charlie Kirk has been shot in the neck, that they saw blood spray.
So if I measure from where we think the shooter may have been laying prone, somewhere right around here, to where Charlie's tent was located, somewhere around here, this distance appears to be about 433 feet, which is about 144 yards. And if any of you saw my videos on the Trump assassination attempt in 2024, you remember that the Trump shooter was located almost, ironically, almost the same distance, about 133 yards. So here's a view of the courtyard where they were at. And of course, Charlie was down here in the tent over here, sort of facing along the line of this sidewalk. But here's the building, and this is where I think that the shooter may have been located. That would have been the easiest spot for him to be, where he could be somewhat secluded and not too many people notice him, except for the guys that might have seen him on the video there. And then he had a good clean line of sight all the way down to here. Now, right here is a zoom in on the Losi building. This is from a drone view, and as you can look up there on the upper right-hand corner of the roof, that is where the shooter was likely sitting at. And so this is the spot where I think he may have been here. So this gives you a better view of like where these ladders are and how he could have gotten up there. So here's the sign that says Losi Center right here. So they must have cameras somewhere, maybe inside, that may have captured the person. I mean, he had to have gotten up there somehow. And I don't know if any of these doors here lead up to the roof or not, but certainly he could have gotten up there from any of these other spots here. So that's what the police and the FBI need to look into to figure out how this guy got up there. So if you were the shooter and you were here, Charlie Kirk is here, and when you're done, you're going to escape. Where would you go? So possibly he had a car here waiting for him, or maybe he kind of runs down this road and runs into the back neighborhood, which would be really foolish because you'd want to be able to get out of there as quickly as possible. So my money says he had a car waiting here.
Which we just saw is not the case.
Gets in the car and maybe goes this way. And I'll zoom out a bit and just gets off of the campus and either goes into the local area here or finds a way to get onto the interstate, possibly a little bit further up the road there, but it looks like it's a long ways up there before he could get on there. I see right here. So I would think this would be how he could escape if he wants to get out of Dodge quickly. The FBI has already arrested 2 people and released them. So as far as we know right now, there's no shooter in custody. So they're going to have to be reviewing all the video cameras and security cameras that were all over the place, and even the traffic light cameras, so that they can find whoever this was and trace back their steps. So if there's any more useful videos of the shooter or information, I will let you know. In the meantime, RIP.
Yeah. Wild.
He made it live right there. Maybe he didn't need a car.
Yeah.
You're right, Jen. Exactly. He could have just went through them woods and, lived on the other side of them or something.
Yeah, 433 feet is what he's estimating.
Yeah, that's a lot, isn't it? Isn't that far?
I'm not a hunter. I'm not a dude. I like to I like to shoot a certain rifle, but other than that, I have no idea.
Seth just said it's not that far, but I wasn't sure if he was referring to the 200 or the 400
feet. He would say if 433 feet he thinks is far. If this guy is estimating 433 feet, that changes the 200 to the 433. Now, is that far?
Right.
Is that far, Seth? Let us know that. Like, inquiring minds want to know, is that far? Because it seems to me like that would be far, but I'm not an avid, I don't shoot a lot, so I don't know.
But how did they not have cops on the roof, for the love of fucking God?
Because this was planned. This was,
I know, but
JFK, we look at all that. This guy is going to there's going to be somebody that's going to take the fall. No doubt about it. And
I know, Joe.
It's not going to be a guy in a suit. Guarantee you that.
I know, Joe. I wish they had said something. It's like, see something, say something. Like, there's never anybody on a roof that should be there unless it's a cop or sniper.
And the person, the eyewitness said that they ran, that person ran from one side to the other. That's what the eyewitness said. He runs from here to there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
that's clearly not a cop.
No, he says he goes from here to here. He saw him run. He saw him run and lay down. And he even videoed it. And he's like, well, damn, this is odd. Okay, yeah, it's odd. It's very odd. It's too bad that no security saw that too.
No kidding.
Those buildings, but he doesn't have any Secret Service or security like that. So obviously, if he goes against the grain and goes against the establishment in any type of way, bye.
Yeah.
You're a threat, dude. You're about to take over the world and bring peace. We can't have that.
Okay, so I'm just looking here, and where rifles extend this significantly long range, hunting is often considered as between 200 and 600 yards. I don't know what that is in feet, but it sounds like a far distance. So, I don't know. I don't know enough about shooting.
I mean, what do you think, Joe? You said you was an infantryman, so, and all you did was that. So is that far? Is 433 feet far? Hell, do we need to Google it and ask ChatGPT or what?
I know, Jen. I'm like, I know how to shoot, but I've never tried to snipe anybody out before either. So, it's just target.
I haven't shot that far. I've had a target that was, from, maybe, I don't know, 30 feet. That's been my target.
Right. Because like women, we just do it if
far
you're
away targets. I don't go hunting. I don't
No.
I shoot
Me
for
neither.
practice in case I ever get to do something quickly within so many feet. But I'm not trying to shoot buildings away.
Well, if you get in our personal space, then we shoot you. That's how women think. But these people are another breed of something.
I mean, a lot of people are saying it's a tough shot. A lot of people are saying that. A lot of people are saying, a lot of men who I don't know their credibility are saying that it's not, it's not a hard shot. So I don't know. I mean, it seems like you've got all those people. You got that one shot.
Yep. And
seems to me like you better be good.
It seems to me like he was very experienced.
Every time. There's no time. There's no time for error.
And you know what the kids were saying in some of the interviews? They didn't even do checks at the door. They didn't even check their ticket stubs. They just had everybody walking in. There was no security at the entrance, nothing. They didn't have it blocked off.
He was a walking target. He was just always a walking target. Just like, and somebody said something about MLK and, Martin Luther King. I'm going to look at his chart too. I think it's worthy to compare the activists because he was an activist and he was about truth and his values and speaking to the youth, which is admirable. To speak to the youth and to try to get on their level, I think that's, I admire that.
Joe says he almost missed.
I didn't know any much about him.
Really, Joe? Joe says he almost missed.
Yeah, I don't think that he almost did. I think he definitely almost really got it right on the jugular.
Yeah, he didn't miss. That's the point.
Oh, they were going for his head. No, no, wasn't going for another Kennedy. This was the jugular. I think that he got where he meant to get.
But do you think 6 cops is enough for a student? Didn't they say there were 3,000 people there? 3,000 people there?
He had enough money. He should have paid for more security himself.
And why no ambulances? And why do they put him in this car after? Like, that is unbelievable to me.
I mean, he bled out immediately. He bled out immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was hitting an artery, and that's what happens. I mean, Unless somebody's applying pressure, you're going to bleed out quick that way.
Well, I
don't think
know
they wanted him gone. They just didn't want him gone to where the head would explode, like the brain matter come out like that, was happened with Kennedy.
Yeah.
I think that they got exactly what they wanted to get.
Right.
A hunting rifle, not an AR-15. Yeah. Yes, he did apparently, because I saw Ashley Banfield yesterday, and she was reporting on, did they have on somebody that was there. She interviewed, and she kept asking her, did they have his neck? Did they? She said yes. I could see them putting pressure on his neck. He was still moving. She said, I could see him moving when they put him in the back of their truck. He was moving. How long he died after that is anybody's guess. But she's the witness account. Go check it out on News Nation. Ashley Banfield yesterday.
Well, he may have been moving, but that might not have been
true.
An alive type of movement.
True. I mean, maybe that's why they removed him and put them in the back of the truck.
That was a huge amount in just a matter of seconds. What the first video that I saw, it looked like it went boom, 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 and then it hit his neck. So the first video that I ever saw on TikTok was a lot different than the second video. It was two different videos, two different perspectives. And the first video that I saw, it looked like that there was three bullets that hit the chest and like it ricocheted and it hit his neck. So I don't that's what I first saw. And then the second one, I only saw one shot. And they said in the conference, it was one shot. But if I go back and I remember that first image that I got, I think I do have a screenshot.
I saw them both too. And I agree with you. Like, you couldn't see the blood pouring out in the first visual. And it did.
No,
and they
didn't say it. You didn't. It was different. It was different.
Ricocheted. Yeah, they did say it ricocheted off the vest. So it's interesting. I don't know. Who knows? But you're right, Katie. It could have been a reflex, but hard to say because he had so many people carrying whether he was moving or somebody was moving him or his body was reflex because your body still moves, right? But the witness thought he was still alive, needless to say, when they put him in the back of the truck. So I just don't understand why there was no ambulance there. I don't understand why nobody was scouting the roof. I don't understand. It just seemed like an inside deliberate. I don't know. It seemed really weird to me. Like,
I can see how things are pointing that way, definitely. Especially that press conference was, desired. So.
Everybody's waited for hours for that, and they're like, oh, we're just going to show you a video we have before, and we're going to ask you for help, which we've had before, and we're just going to pretend like we're doing something about this and make it look good for the public, and then we're going to leave. Like, what the fuck? Jesus.
Exactly.
Why show up for that? Why waste everybody's time and money for that? Like, fuck. They've already showed us and asked for help, and stay off social media and go spend time with your family. Do you want help or not? Which is it?
Right. Oh, hold on a bit. Oh, I know. The first part was fine, but then when they're, by the way, don't watch this, that, or the other. It's like, oh God, tell me you're, trying to tell me what to do without telling me what to do. Again, it's weird.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I know. If people are interesting, right? It's like, there's so much misinformation. Well, what's the misinformation? Tell us. I'm surprised they haven't got this guy already. I mean, they have the FBI on this. A vest wouldn't stop a 308. Really? So you think he deliberately went for the neck? He went for the artery deliberately? I mean,
it seems that way. I mean, I don't know yet. I don't know.
But he was also under a tent, so that angle seems to be like, I don't know. I mean, obviously it's doable. He did it, but it just seemed to me like a hard shot. It would have been. That's all, because he's under a tent and he's set back in the tent. And he's down like quite a bit, but I'm not a shooter, so what do I know? Nothing. It just looked hard to me. It looked professional to me. You think the aim point was the
Yeah.
head? Yeah. Where is that little effer, right?
Oh, I know. Still at large. Still at large.
Okay, and somebody put earlier that you thought that he offed himself. I don't think he did. I don't think he's offed himself. But that's just me.
I mean, I'm thinking he might do that, but I don't know. If he's close, like Jen was saying, he could have just made it home. That's it, and then he's home.
Yeah. Yeah. If Cash is typing,
This man who had escaped from Castro. And in the midst of his story, one of my friends turned to the other and said, "We don't know how lucky we are." And the Cuban stopped and said, "How lucky you are. I had some place to escape to."
Did you stop it,
Shoot,
Jen?
sorry, y'all. No, sorry, hold on.
We still know the freedoms that were intended for us by the founding fathers. Not too long ago, two friends of mine were talking to a Cuban refugee, a businessman who had escaped from Castro. And in the midst of his story, one of my friends turned to the other and said, "We don't know how lucky we are." And the Cuban stopped and said, "How lucky you are. I had some place to escape to." And in that sentence, he told us the entire story. If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. And this idea that government is beholden to the people, that it has no other source of power except the sovereign people, is still the newest and the most unique idea in all the long history of man's relation to man. This is the issue of this election. Whether we believe in our capacity for self-government or whether we abandon the American Revolution and confess that a little intellectual elite in a far distant capital can plan our lives for us better than we can plan them ourselves. You and I are told increasingly we have to choose between a left or right. Well, I'd like to suggest there is no such thing as a left or right. There's only an up or down. Man's old age dream, the ultimate in individual freedom consistent with law and order, or down to the ant-heap of totalitarianism. And regardless of their sincerity, their humanitarian motives, those who would trade our freedom for security have embarked on this downward course. In this vote harvesting time, they use terms like the Great Society, or as we were told a few days ago by the president, we must accept a greater government activity in the affairs of the people. But they've been a little more explicit in the past, and among themselves, and all of the things I now will quote have appeared in print. These are not Republican accusations. For example, they have voices that say the Cold War will end through our acceptance of a not undemocratic socialism. Another voice says the profit motive has become outmoded. It must be replaced by the incentives of the welfare state. Or our traditional system of individual freedom is incapable of solving the complex problems of the 20th century. Senator Fulbright has said at Stanford University that the Constitution is outmoded. He referred to the president as our moral teacher and our leader. And he says he is hobbled in his task by the restrictions of power imposed on him by this antiquated document. He must be freed so that he can do for us what he knows is best. And Senator Clark of Pennsylvania, another articulate spokesman, defines liberalism as meeting the material needs of the masses through the full power of centralized government. Well, I, for one, resent it when a representative of the people refers to you and me, the free men and women of this country, as the masses. This is a term we haven't applied to ourselves in America. But beyond that, the full power of centralized government, this was the very thing the founding fathers sought to minimize. They knew that governments don't control things. A government can't control the economy without controlling people. And they know when a government sets out to do that, it must use force and coercion to achieve its purpose.
What do you say? Force and coercion?
Yeah. On a totally different note, I just got a 39 minutes ago, Jack and Lily's grandmother, Belinda Gray, just messaged me. So
Really?
she's,
Oh, wow.
yeah. I posted that she said she would send me the documents, the court documents. So yeah, I just invited her up if she wants to talk on the channel. That's brave of her because I've not been very
She's a
kind to her.
sweetheart.
You think so? I haven't been kind. I have to say. Not that I'm not kind. I just don't like that they left their life for 3 years, but I don't know the circumstances. So, anyways, hopefully she'll respond and come on up, and I'll invite you too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I do think that other grandma was very, you know,
I think they were afraid. I
horrible.
think they were.
In comparison, maybe I should say in comparison from what I've seen.
Well, I think they
you had
were
one that was
afraid of that
grieving.
family. Yeah. Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah.
That's good. Hopefully she will come and talk.
Yeah, I'll just show you,
Yeah.
just also you don't.
Keep us posted on that. And you're right. We do. It is time for us to go. Oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
So yeah, I sorry to cut you off, Jen. I just
No, I'm glad that you did. I mean, this is a good one. I mean, this is only 7 minutes 35. I mean, yeah, 7:35. So, y'all, if y'all want to go and watch this, feel free. I can't post the link, but Leanne could.
I don't know. I have
Shorts.
Okay.
DC Shorts. I'm not subscribed, but I was sent this video because this is he's basically calling it what it is. He's calling it, he's telling us what's up. But the American people, we are entrapped. We're entrapped in the WWW. And so it's the World Wide Web. It's the radio waves, and we are trapped. So,
let me just pull up that video.
Bunch of propaganda.
Reagan, that's 5 years ago. Reagan warned us.
Yeah, about the direction. Well, this is when it was uploaded.
Yeah. So I got it here. I just want to make sure I got the right link. So I'll post it here for anybody that wants to. So the neighbor thing, well, I have to get my laptop checked. I had to get a new modem, and yeah.
Wow.
It's still ongoing. Yeah, I have to get a new modem, and they said what happened was because the modem wasn't super strong, so I added a booster, and that's how somebody can break in. Just so y'all know, booster. So I have to take my laptop in. So I have my job interview tomorrow, so I'm going to take my laptop in and make sure that nothing was broken into. I talked to Dawn about it today, she sent me something to scan and make sure, because somebody was in my apartment, and he knew I was away that weekend, and I had a key outside. It just didn't dawn on me, stupid me, an extra key in case I locked myself out. Because when my dad died, I locked myself out of my car and my apartment 6 times in a week. I was just so beside myself. So my kids were like, Mom, get an extra key. So I told them I was leaving for the weekend. And when I came home, there was a painting on the floor, and I was like, someone was in my fucking house. And and then, yeah, I think so. But I'm not for sure. So no, it's not good. So I have to. So, and it's been escalating.
Y'all worry me with wearing them earbuds. I don't do earbuds, and when I talk on the phone, I talk on speaker. I get wigged out. I get wigged out by any type of, the frequency really gets to me. I'm really sensitive.
Well, I'm with my concern he's listening now, because if I get a text and I don't answer, he's pounding on my door like hard. And then when my kids show up in the park, like laneway, he's like staring at us through the windows. My daughter was really freaked out the other day. He was sneaking out, watching through the windows. It's getting and he's the size of like Rex Huberman, like he's not a small guy. So I'm very weirded out. So it's not completely out of I'm not completely out of the woods yet with this guy. So yeah, it's very creepy. The only reason I entertained it is because I wanted him to clean up the audio for Sebastian Rogers, and that he refused to do it. And all he wanted to talk about was Jack and Lily. It's like, he is very sadistic. And then when I was over there, he was bragging about his black belt and how the woman that used to live where I'm in's boyfriend, he broke his collarbone and threw him down the fucking stairs. I was like, well, you could have killed him, and he was not remorseful. I was like freaked out. I'm like, okay, time to fucking get out of here. Yeah, very scary. There's just creepiness there. And he told me his parents were cousins. I was like, oh my god. And his dad's a preacher and minister, and his son is transgender, and he refuses to talk to his son because he's going through the sex thing, and his son's suicidal. And I was just like, wow, this guy is definitely not me. I think he may be even watching the live right now. So if you see, because
Gosh.
yeah, no, it's
And there's nothing you can do. Like, can you call and report him? I mean, I know it's kind of hard when he's right there.
well, the problem is he's friends with the landlords. So I'm taking my laptop first to see if it was broken into, because he's high tech, and that's what they told me. They said as soon as you attach a booster, so everybody out there, be careful if you attach a booster, because that's what I did. So they gave me a new modem and a new password. So the only question I need to do now is I need to get a new key for my apartment and see if he's tapped into my apartment. And I have told him multiple times, and I've had conversations with him, like, if I don't respond to your text, don't be pounding my door. And he doesn't fucking listen. Like, he doesn't fucking care. Yeah, I was sitting, listen,
I don't
Trish,
like the fact
bought,
that you've been restricted to carry and protect yourself. I don't
no,
like
I
that.
know. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if this happened
I
to
don't like
me,
that
with
at
this
all.
guy that was jailed in Canada last week for defending himself, it's very, very, yeah, I know, Kitty. And so anyways, I had a psychic medium tell me he was going to die a brutal death once, and I have not stopped thinking about that when I was 18 since this happened, and I'm very scared. Okay, I bought, those fake leaves for your deck? I was sitting on my front porch, and he fucking pushed them apart, like, I can't fucking see you. I said, that's the fucking point. And that was the day he was showing up on my lives, pounding on my fucking door. Yeah. On my life, not once, twice on my life. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not, like, my kids pull up and he's staring at us on the deck like I'm fucking creeped out. I am very creeped out.
I would be
And
too. What a jerk.
yeah. No. And then I was sitting on the couch, and like we have a big, like, everybody has two parking spots. So we have a big parking lot here in the building in the front, and he lives on the other side across from me, and he parks on that side, and I'm over here. You can't see me on the couch behind me unless you walk in front of my window. And the door into the building is in the middle. He crossed the whole fucking laneway to come and see if I was on the couch yesterday, to stare in my fucking window. I'm
Girl,
like,
you need to start asking for funds for a freaking camera. A camera is very expensive. I didn't realize just how expensive they are.
Yeah, he proceeded to tell me that he has black belt, and that he didn't like the boyfriend of the girl that was living here, so he broke his fucking collarbone and threw him down the stairs. And he didn't think there was anything fucking wrong with it. I'm like,
That's
he could have
crazy.
killed the guy. Yeah, I know. I'm definitely considering it, and I've told him 4 times. I just moved in, and in the province that I'm in now, you have a 1-year contract, and that's fucking it. You can't move. Just moved in.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
What can your apartment complex do anything about it? Like, could you go to the security or
well,
say
it's
anything?
a private building. There's only 4 units here, and he is friends with the landlord, the owner. They are friends. So I need.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I need to get my evidence together
chickens.
before. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was pretty grossed out when he said his parents were cousins already, but that was,
Who says
yeah, it's
that?
just,
Who says that to someone unless they're trying to like weird them out,
Yeah.
well, and I kept asking him about the Sebastian tape, and he was just kept talking about Jack and Lily. It was like, it was a sadistic fucking, I know what you want, but I'm not gonna fucking, it's fucking disgusting. There's something fucking really, really fucking wrong with that guy. Okay. It's not good. Not good.
Yeah.
Well, so anyway, I'm
Wow, what
surprised
a
it sounded.
jerk. Is he good with audio then? Is that what you were trying to get him to do the audio
Had a whole tech
from the
company.
ring cam?
Oh yeah, that's what he does. And he said, "Oh, I know how to do it," and he's refusing to do it. I've asked him. He won't do it. But he knows how to do
Dang.
it. Yeah. He just
Yeah.
talks.
See, and I don't
Tried to
have that
present
kind of
himself.
software.
He tried to present himself as a psychic medium and started telling me things about Jack and Lily that he heard from my fucking lives.
Mm.
So he's probably watching right now.
Wow, there's so many weirdos that really insert themselves into these situations, right?
Well, the problem I had is the girl that took me
I'm
for a
so
walk
sorry.
was his ex. It's okay. It's not your fault. But the girl that took me for a walk that lives below is his ex-girlfriend. And I didn't know. So I told her my channel name. So I think she told him. They still have dinner together and everything.
Right.
He fucks the other guy downstairs. And that's not even her boyfriend. They're just all a fucking bunch of fucking people that I don't want to associate with.
Oh, I don't
Yeah,
blame you.
yeah. I mean, I don't guess you can really make a report on somebody being creepy. I don't know.
That's the problem. That's my
Yeah,
problem. I don't think
yeah,
he can. Yes, and he
yes,
he
Deborah.
created a network in my name. Look it. He created a fucking address, a
Yeah,
Wi-Fi address in my name. It's still here. Look, I didn't set it up.
Oh,
How to spell my name? Look at that's my fucking name. I didn't set it up, and it wasn't there when I first moved in.
wow.
Okay, I woke up one morning. I had no internet, but I logged onto that automatically, and I was freaked the fuck out. He sent me.
Wow. We were just talking about this on my channel last night, how people can do that. Clone networks and stuff. Wow.
No, I
No, they
can't,
cloned
Deborah.
it, Deborah. Yeah, sorry, Leanna. I was like, no, because they cloned it, right? They do that to mess with people. Like, that's what the guy literally said on the page where they were showing how to do it. He said, this is
Yep.
just to mess with your buddies. I said, well, that's a real nice friend you got there.
Yep. Do you want to know what his email address is? I'm pretty sure my friend of 40 years is like, that's disgusting. His email address is fire hose or something like that, or something like, oh, yeah, like something hose sexual. Like it's disgusting. It's fucking
Psycho hose beast. Goodness
yeah.
sakes. Lord.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Mm.
anyway, enough said. Onwards and upwards. So I'm afraid to confront him. I'm 5'1.25". What am I gonna say with somebody that has a fucking temper and a black belt and he doesn't listen and respect me and he's creepy? What am I gonna say to him?
Well, I mean, if he's creeping through
right.
if he's creeping through, on your property, on your space, where you're living, then, that might be something that you could get him lawfully with.
This is your bread and butter, warrior. Can you describe that? No, I've told him 4 fucking times. If I don't respond, I'm on a live. And he texts me, and within 10 minutes, he's pounding on my fucking door. I was on a live. So I was getting ready to go live. So I ignored the text. I'm on my live. He's pounding on the door, not once, twice. I don't answer. 5 minutes later, another text. And then I'm on my live. And again, pounding on the door. I had to interrupt my live. And I was livid. Actually, listening right here. I swear to God.
Oh,
Hang
yeah.
on.
I would have been too. Oh, man. Don't mess with my lives now. I'm mad.
No. He's not there. But I'm telling you, not good. So, Women's Warrior, be curious to see what you say about that because I have said it multiple times. And when I showed up at the live, I just looked at him. I was like, I'm on a fucking live. I was not happy and I was not polite. And I got another text after that. Anyway. No, it's not good.
Yeah,
It's
that
not very
sounds insane. And he sounds like he likes to intimidate,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, it does sound stalking. Yeah. Yep. When I remember us talking about him in one of the first couple of lives that we did. I'm like, you can't really be having a relationship. I mean, it sounds all good and everything, but once you get to doing that, what if he's a creeper? What if he's a weirdo?
Explicit.
Weirdo.
Well,
yeah.
Anytime somebody pulls up,
right, Jen.
if I pull in or my daughter pulls in to drop my grandkids off, like my daughter pulled in the other day to pick up my grandson. He was here on the weekend. I told y'all, and he was like behind the drapes in his window, And my daughter's looking up. I'm like, what are you looking at? I wasn't looking back because I didn't want to look. She goes, he's staring in the window, Mom. It's really fucking creepy. Like, he's hiding behind the window in the drape, staring at us in the parking lot. Like, anytime somebody comes in to visit me, he's on his deck, like invading my privacy and engaging himself in a conversation. My son-in-law came into park and he dropped my grandson off, and he didn't back up because it's like too hard for a truck to do like a 3-point turn, and he's giving him shit because he's not parking. And I'm like, dude, like, fuck off. Like, I just
Right.
okay, I would appreciate that because I am nervous. Like, I see very, very stalker, predatory, disgusting behavior, and I really think this guy could be dangerous. I really do. So
Yeah,
if you
that's
could,
scary.
if you could get that to me, Trisha, that would be great because I don't know
Yeah.
how to deal with it because I don't have like evidence that's substantial enough to get it in restraining order. I don't think.
I know, and that's the thing in
You need a
Canada, if they're
camera.
kind of laxed on it.
Yeah, you need
Dang.
a camera. You need to get the funds for a camera. And if you have to start asking people on your lives for funds for a camera, then so be it.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Camera
know.
fund. I
I know.
mean, because that, that's scary, and you just need to have it documented,
Yeah,
especially
you
if
don't need
he's
a coffee ball. You need a
bold,
whole
you know.
you don't need a coffee. You need a whole camera system. You
No,
can't
I
be.
know.
You
Well,
need
and
to
I
be.
told you about that weekend I went away and I came back and my painting was on the floor. Someone was in my fucking apartment. It's a fucking full brick building. I can't hear the fucking trucks going through the front. I can't hear people knocking on my door when I'm in my bedroom. If the painting fell off the wall, no, somebody fucking knocked it off the wall. Like, there's no
Yeah.
fucking way. This building is fucking full fucking concrete. It was built in the 80s. It's fucking solid. Like, even the technicians and the Wi-Fi were saying, like, these buildings they're fucking hard to get Wi-Fi to the back of the building because that's why I thought adding a booster. And so the painting I don't think the painting fell off the wall. But the walls don't move here. Like, it was an outside wall the painting was on. It was this one right here, the man behind me, that was on the floor when I got home from the
It's a
long
cool
weekend
painting.
when he knew it was away. Thank you. So I don't know. Anyway, enough said. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to hit the hay. I really appreciate everybody for
Yeah.
joining us, and I appreciate you girls
Thank
for being
you.
on.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
thank
Jen
you.
It was
too.
fun. It was fun.
Yeah,
It's
love
finally
you
we can
guys.
stream, our own channels too, So
Yeah, love you guys. I appreciate it.
love you too, everybody.
Yeah,
Have a
let
good
me see,
night.
Jen. I'll be more presentable next time, Leanne. You guys came on looking all beautiful, and I'm like, oh shit, my hair is.
I
It's
never come
curly
in
normally, so
beautiful.
it's like
I don't
everywhere.
look beautiful.
I don't look beautiful. I'm always in a ponytail. I'm like,
Yes.
I'm gonna have to dye my hair, but I don't have time for this interview.
Oh, mine's so much worse, right? Because it just gets so frizzy and curly, and there's no nothing you can do. It's just like Florida hair is what I gotta call it. Florida hair.
Night, y'all.
Night, everybody.
Night,
Mwah.
Jen.
Everybody
Night,
tomorrow
everybody.
night.
Thank you. Great live, guys.
Bye. Bye. Thanks, ladies. You too. Bye, everybody.